on Wednesday. That allowed us to
there we
check
go.
out the
Now
newly
we're live.
installed engines and spin the aux pumps
Hello,
on
world.
all 33 after
Lucky
they were chilled.
13.
Check out their performance before we got into another launch attempt. We pulled a bunch of those engines off, as we said. We tested one on a test stand up at McGregor, helped screen for any other issues that might be hiding, and that one was actually able to do a full booster ascent burn. So
hey, Mark. Hey, Whackman.
Got us in a good position for today. Even though we didn't get off the pad last week, we learned about the engines, the prop systems, how they perform in the flight environment. Already going to drive some changes to make Starship more reliable.
Okay, I'm
we
just
also
checking
got a
stuff.
real-world test of an abort that's designed to take place at one of the most critical dynamic phases of flight. We safely shut down 29 running Raptor engines, safeguarded the vehicle and the pad. A mountain of work goes into designing aborts. You've got software, hardware engineers.
How's the audio?
Dreaming up bad day scenarios. How we want the vehicle to respond, just to give us the best possible path to maximize safety.
From the nether regions.
Preserve the mission and the hardware, so we're able to do that. All right,
no launch during market trading hours.
13's second attempt. So things are looking really good at the moment. Just behind me here is the launch
Jonas
control
from
center.
Germany.
Everybody's on console.
Mr. Oyor.
Looking at the systems
Audio
onboard
fine,
the
thank
vehicle
you.
And on the pad
Excellent.
as we count down
so
to
can you hear Dan? Dan
load
Hewitt,
is
our good
underway.
mate Dan.
We slipped a little bit into our window as we waited for some
loading,
couple of
fuel
things
loading.
to settle out. And we are targeting a liftoff at 5:51.
Background is a bit hard to hear, okay? Yeah, no worries.
Weather today, you can see we've got blue skies. We're going to do a little weather corner
here
for a second because we were originally attempting to fly yesterday, and we didn't because of, we said, weather. I want to be clear, the cause of not flying was visibility. It had nothing to do with launch weather constraints. One of the key goals of this flight is to get very clear imagery of the tiles on Starship as we're flying it at a higher dynamic pressure. You can't do that when you have clouds completely obscuring your view through all of those critical phases of ascent. We're actually capable and legally allowed to launch into lightning because we've done a ton of testing, unique testing, analysis, studying aircraft capabilities, and it's designed because that's ultimately the cadence we want to fly at, like an airplane. We're going to utilize that new capability carefully, but we're very aware. If we want to fly Starship as often as you could fly an airplane, you're going to have to fly in weather that historically would keep rockets on the ground. So we're doing that analysis. We're doing that testing to prepare for the future.
The best of the
aside from weather, we're watching the range both in the Gulf, right here off Starbase, and in the Indian Ocean. That's currently green. We're not tracking any vehicle or pad issues that will preclude a launch today.
Look at that.
Speaking of the pad, that launch
infrastructure,
it's every bit as complicated as the rocket itself.
Right?
It's designed to operate in some of the most extreme conditions on Earth.
In
case you missed it, we have some pretty cool insight into what it takes to launch the most powerful rocket on the planet in the second episode of our ongoing documentary, Starship.
Hey, V5 SAR. Oh, we're going to get a spiel. Roll the videotape. Gateway to Mars. Can we just get to the bloody moon,
please?
When
we're only a week out from flight, my main focus is getting into flight.
Look at that. Flame trench.
The thing that separates us from a lot of other companies is that we test fast and we test often, and that includes launches. We want to make sure the vehicle's all ready to go. We want to make sure the ground's all ready to go, but we also don't want to be caught in analysis paralysis.
Oh, this is their, because they released a documentary. They released like a 30-minute documentary or something leading up to the launch. I haven't watched it all, but it looked really highly polished.
Looks like we kicked out due to 2 combustors from Apex being pumped.
Yeah, this is footage from that.
There was a pad side abort
5:51 p.m.
These things were holding like 5,000–6,000 tons of propellant plus the rocket weight, and it's like, okay, well, why didn't you guys simulate that? It's like, well, because we didn't have anything that weighed that much. Like, this is the first time we put anything on it that weighed that much. So there's just so much that you have to think about and be very paranoid on.
You can hate SpaceX all you like. You've got to admire the work they put into this. It's incredible.
We actually had another pad abort on the diverter.
Basically, right during engine firing, it was so much noise and vibration that it actually shook the sensors that are located out in this area enough that they
failed the launch.
Out of the test.
4 engines didn't light, and that was the oxygen pre-booster turbo pump, oxygen turbo pump.
Tried to come up with
apparently, but apparently it was 6.
protect
there
the
were 6
integrity of the
they
diverter
detected
throughout
Dan
the
said at the
operation
start they had
while
6
changing our
engines
parameters so
that
we
had
were
failed.
making sure that we would not abort again.
That's interesting.
A
So
flame
turbo
diverter
pump,
is
and
like
they
a super
apparently,
simple
can somebody
concept that
fact
is
check
like
this?
not at all
They
complicated
didn't
in operation. It is just
relight
absolutely
them to
murderous
test them.
in the
They actually
details.
replaced the
These
engines or
are
replaced the turbo
extremely
pumps or something,
sophisticated
and they did not do a
thermal
relight
load
test.
sensing devices.
So the relight
If they
test
turn into
is
melted
going to be
metal
this
slag,
test.
then you know that you got
So-
too much heat. If you melt this,
Oh, what was that?
you're hotter than aluminum melts. If you melt
That's
this, you're hotter
interesting.
than zinc melts. If you melt this, you're hotter than copper melts. If you melt this, you're hotter than Sharpie melts. So we're sub-Sharpie.
That's interesting. They've got like an actual material gauge
We have
there.
all of this mass flow, all of this
Wow.
energy that is
Is
just
that just
absolutely
for
trying to
funsies,
obliterate
or
our
is that
pad.
for,
We want
like-
to give it a thing to obliterate, to keep from
That's not
obliterating the
bad.
things that we
That's
care
not a
about.
bad way
And
to do a
the thing we
crude
give it is
sensor, you
water.
know. There it is down there. That's not a bad way. Look at that. Oh my god. They put a camera there
The
when it
amount
went
of
off.
energy
That's
that water
great.
can absorb is like miraculous. And so if you can get
That's
high enough
fantastic.
pressure water in the right places and just allow it to flash boil that water, then it solves a lot of the problems for you. Like the idea is that the steel never gets that hot. The structures never get that hot because the water absorbs all that energy, turns to steam,
Yeah,
and
that's
everything's
great.
okay.
Love the flame diverters. Look at
So
that.
for this flame deflector on pad 2, we're sitting somewhere in the neighborhood of about 650,000 gallons per minute.
What's a gallon? Whoa.
That's approximately in the range of about like one entire Olympic swimming pool being drained
And
in
that's
the course
one of the
a
reasons
minute.
that they couldn't retest it last time, is because once they've released all that water,
look into this
they
thing
can't
to
get
see
it back
how,
in fast enough. Like,
glowing
takes
hot
them
it
all
is.
day or
It's
something
just,
to get the water back in,
yeah, a
so
pretty
that they could.
impossible
So
environment to
even
keep
if they
something back
wanted to
in, but-
relaunch it last
And
time,
you
they
zoom
couldn't
in
have
and the
because of the
flame deflector's
water.
still there, so that's
So,
the reason we
that's
build those
interesting.
things.
Putting the rocket into human terms is something really
Yeah,
tough.
all right,
65,000 pounds per second
Whatever.
of propellant that is coming out of the
Fine.
engines. And again, just like 18 million pounds of thrust, like what does that number mean? I think of like 11 Ford F-150 trucks per second
Hey, Ian Scott
just
Johnson in
zipping
the
out of the
house.
bottom of the rocket. It's like imagine if you had the world's biggest machine gun,
So
except for
they
instead of shooting
screwed up
bullets,
the
it was shooting
time
pickup
again.
trucks, and it's just
The
firing 11
time for
pickup
this
trucks
in
per
Sydney
second
time.
out of
I
the bottom
noticed
of the
that they
rocket. It's like,
released
do
the
you think
Sydney
yourself
time
could
thing
survive that?
from it. It didn't. So I think they realised it was they'd goofed it up.
And it is so satisfying to watch the
We've
slow
got,
motion flame
Kate, I
diverter
think her name is.
shots.
Right, and just hear all the exciting stories of how we tackle
And
these
he's a
problems out
civil
here in
engineer, I
Starbase.
forget
Super
his name.
exciting.
Yeah. And by the way, if that looks like fun to you,
I
come
don't
join
think
our
we've seen
team.
him before.
We are seeking scrappy problem solvers to help us
Oh.
build the future. Okay,
There you go, you can
let's
go
go
work for
meet the
SpaceX.
rocket out on the pad, Starship version 3. It's the most powerful rocket ever
Be a fun
developed
job.
and ever flown.
And it's also the tallest at just over 407 feet tall, fully stacked. It is massive. Standing at the base and looking up is like looking up at a 40-story building. Incredible.
Yes, it's a two-stage
the
rocket.
Gulf of
Both
America.
stages are designed to return to Earth
USA,
and fly
Uncle
again,
Sam.
making that thing that you see on your screen the first fully
Is
reusable
it
rocket
pointy?
ever. The bottom half, or
It's
the
pretty
first
pointy,
stage, is
flamey
the
end
super
down,
heavy booster.
pointy
That's
end
the
up.
silver part. It's powered by 33
So,
of our newest
yep.
iteration. You see them there on your
Yeah,
screen
the
now.
Raptor 3s, the
Raptor 3
Raptor
engines.
2s with the duck's
They
guts.
run on liquid methane
And-
and oxygen, and this
Man,
version
they're
of
so
Raptor
super
provides
reliable.
a
They changed over to
significant
Raptor
increase in
3
thrust.
engines, and
With that additional thrust,
they've had nothing
as
but
you
problems.
can see
The
here
first
by these
test of them, they
comparisons,
lost
the
it on the way
version
back
that
down. They
we're
wouldn't
launching
relight.
today, version 3 on the far right, that version of Starship gets
They
off
think
the
it
pad
might have been
much
those
faster
oxygen,
than our
turbo
previous
pumps, I
versions.
think.
The one on the far left is, I believe, is actually
So,
our Flight 1
yep.
footage. And
Now, can
in
anyone
comparison, they
confirm
really just go.
that
Yep.
whether or not they're
And
going
now
to catch
Super
something.
Heavy has 3 grid fins, which you
Because
can think
I
of as
heard a rumor
aerodynamic
that they
rudders. You
were
see them on your
possibly
screen
going to
now.
catch the
They
booster.
help steer during landing. They're 50% larger than on previous
can
booster
anyone
versions and
confirm
are
that?
designed to support rapid reuse and a more stable atmospheric reentry.
I love that shot there. And at the top of the booster, we've got the hot stage adapter. It's designed to
You're on the wrong
protect
live?
the booster
What?
during separation, and
is that,
now
Josh?
it's fully integrated for reusability.
Who or what
And
is on the
stacked
wrong
right above
live?
that is our upper stage of the rocket, or stage 2. It's what we call ship. It's powered by 6 Raptor engines, 3 optimized to sea level performance, and 3
Oh
for the
yes,
vacuum
you're on the
of
wrong
space.
live.
Ship's design could one day enable
Vinstock?
point-to-point transfer on Earth, meaning you could travel anywhere on the planet in an hour or less. Sounds pretty great to me.
Oh,
Sounds awesome.
someone said they'll
It's
catch a
designed
Starship
to carry
on pad
massive
2.
orbital
Hard to
payloads,
believe.
both cargo and crew, to Earth orbit, the moon, Mars, and beyond.
A tad bit louder.
For the first
okay.
time, we are carrying
You
real
are right.
Starlink V3 satellites to space. For more on that, let's head out to California, where Tyler is standing by with the team in
Slightly
Hawthorne.
down.
How's
there
it
you
going,
go.
Tyler?
Yeah, I should be a little bit louder than them now.
Thank you both.
Check.
I'm Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink
Hello,
business
Tyler.
analyst here at SpaceX.
Business
now,
analyst.
For those of you who have been following along, the
Do we
Starlink
want to listen to the
version 3
business
satellites are
analyst?
designed to take full advantage of Starship's payload capacity. And we're going to get our first look at those satellites today. The Starlink
Perfect
V3
now,
is our
okay.
next-gen satellite, and it
Mike, 1, 2,
meaningful
check 1, 2,
increases in
check 1, 2.
capacity, data density, and
There
power
used to be a
so we'll be adding
there used to be a band in
capacity
Australia called
into the
Check 1, 2.
constellation on each
It was
Starship
Craig
mission as compared to the
McLaughlin,
version 2
who was a
satellites that we
Neighbours
launched on
star.
Falcon. And that
Yanks will
means
have
that
no
we'll be
idea
able
what
to
that
serve
is, but
more
all the
people all around the
pommies
world
will
and
know
with
what that is.
increasingly
Used to be a
better
Neighbours
high-speed
star, and he
internet.
had a band called
Like
Check
all
1,
Starlink
2.
satellites, the V3s are built at Starlink's site
So,
in Redmond,
yep.
Washington, where we
Don't know what
already
happened to
build
that.
more satellites than anyone else in the world today. Now, the V3 sats are designed to support 1 terabit per second of downlink and 160
Yeah, they're going to
gigabits per
launch.
second
They're
of
actually going to
uplink
launch
capacity.
real Starlink
That's
V3s
approximately
today.
10 times
They're going to launch
improvement
like
in
10 of them
downlink
or
capacity
something.
and around a 22
And they're going to
times
last for
increase in
30 minutes
uplink
because they're not going to
capacity from the
orbit.
version 2 Starlink
No, bugger
satellites.
that.
Serving this
They're
capacity
going to
to
launch them,
and
and no,
front
20
customers
minutes,
are
I think they said at the
upgraded
start of the
phased
stream.
array
20
antennas.
minutes.
The upgraded phased
They're
arrays
going to
are fed by SpaceX's
launch.
in-house developed chips
They're
that
going
were
to stay
designed
up
serve
there, and then it's
customers
going to
more
burn up.
efficiently in both
Because they're
densely
not an
and
orbital.
sparsely
They're not
populated
going to
regions
put them into an
simultaneously.
orbital
And
trajectory.
each Starlink
Why not
V3
just launch
satellite
1
is
or
also
2?
equipped with
Why not
6
just launch a car?
high-capacity
They're going to
400
do
gigabit space
10
lasers. Now, these
full
6 lasers
Starlink
will allow
V3s.
high-bandwidth traffic to flow uninterrupted between
What are
any
they
2
worth? Yeah,
points in the
millions of
world
dollars
with
each.
redundant paths across a petabit
And-
laser mesh network.
Yep.
And if that
Oh,
wasn't
maybe
enough,
that's why
the
they need
V3s
10,
will
because they
carry
want to do
4
the laser
quad-band radio
meshing
frequency
thing,
backhaul
right?
antennas.
But they're going to have
And these
20
take
minutes to do
advantage
this
of the KA,
before the
E,
damn things burn
V,
up again.
and W communication bands, allowing for an 8 times improvement in supported capacity compared to the V2 sats.
Yep.
And that's a lot of growth in capacity and capability.
Yeah,
And
the
as such,
Starlink
the new
V3 is
satellite
going to be
design
amazing
requires more
if they can
power.
bloody get it up
So
there.
the solar arrays on V3 will generate approximately twice as much power as the current arrays that we fly
Yeah,
on the
yeah, they're
V2
going to be powered on. A
satellites.
few of
They're
them will also have
optimized to
cameras,
reduce
or I'm not
drag
sure
from
if all
lower
of them are
orbital
going to have
altitudes
high-def
in which
cameras
these
on
new
them
satellites will
streaming,
operate.
so we should be
But
able to get
before
shots
we
from them as they're
operationalize these
deployed.
satellites, we wanted to
Just
put
like
them in
last time, we
flight
had a camera on one of the dummy
These
Starlinks,
satellites
but
were
these will
loaded
be
into
realsies.
Starship last week
Oh,
ahead
there's,
of their
I've never
first
seen them
attempt.
loading.
And
There
once
you go.
deployed, the Starlink team
There's
will only
the
have about 20
loader.
minutes of
There's
flight
loading
to
the
speed
Pez
run some
dispenser.
tests before the sat's demise in the atmosphere.
That's pretty cool.
The team will attempt to run tests such as extending
They'll
the new
attempt to
solar
run
arrays
tests.
and antennas, connecting with ground
Yeah, 10
stations,
gives you more
and
test
turning on
cases
the
to run.
satellite's
Yeah, I guess, you
communication
know, you
systems.
have to throw
And
the
this
money
is
at it,
all
right?
part of SpaceX's
You've
iterative
got to throw the
process
money
to
at it.
technology advancement. From the very beginning, Starlink was designed to scale rapidly and improve continuously. From production to launch and ground infrastructure, Starlink is uniquely positioned to keep pace with rising demand around the world. In fact, just last week, we rolled out the next
Retro
generation
Z,
Starlink kit,
just
the
warning
V5,
you,
which is
you
built
get
for
into,
reliable, high-speed
if you
home internet.
continue to do stuff in the comments, just forewarning. If that's all you're going to bang on about, then you're not welcome. Yeah, so Starlink is gonna, I think Starlink's eventually gonna work. For those who want, it's eventually gonna work, and it's gonna be a great deployer of Starlink satellites. Starship, no, I say Starlink. Starship. It's eventually gonna work. They're eventually gonna nail the damn thing, and you know, get the re-entry, make it semi-reusable, and I don't know how many more flights it's gonna take. Probably in the 20s or something.
All right, you heard from Tyler.
Oh,
a lot
Dan's
of work
back.
Going
Dan's
on
back.
with Starlink. We've
But
also started
it's not going to
development
get
on
us
an
to the moon.
entirely new satellite
It's
constellation.
not going to get us to the moon by 2030.
Our AI
Sorry.
satellites. I got to sit down
Not
with
gonna do it.
Elon and Starlink's director of satellite engineering, Ian Dahl. We covered a whole bunch of stuff, really
Ooh.
focused on what are the 3 limiting factors to making data centers in space a reality. First one we talked about was
Data
mass
centers in
orbit.
space.
That's where Starship comes in. We're going to need megatons into low Earth orbit, and we're going to
People
be
are gonna
combining
lose a
its
lot of
full
money on that.
reusability
It's gonna
and
work.
really big payload capacity to launch the number of satellites that we're talking about, because we plan to deploy up to 1 million AI satellites. And those are gonna
AI
function
data centers
as those
on
orbital
Earth
data
aren't
centers using Starship for the high volume,
actually
low-cost
profitable.
launches. A couple of really key
You're going to be able to
reasons why
get your
moving
AI
data
data
centers
centers
to
for
space
pennies on the dollar
has
when the whole thing
advantages
goes bust.
over building them here on Earth.
So, yep,
which
no
gets
one's
into
going to...
our
I
second
tweeted
limiting
last night.
factor, which is power generation.
Nobody's
So
going to
we
make
sunny in
money.
space,
There will
satellites can
only be
harness
losers,
that
complete
sun, that
losers.
near constant solar energy,
You go out of business,
which
and
is really gonna be
survivors
the only way to
of
scale
this
if
current
continues
AI
to grow
boom.
at the pace that we see.
The only
especially
winners
when
that
you
emerge
contrast
from
it
the
with all
current
the
AI
challenges
boom
that you
will
have here
be
on Earth.
those
Within about
who
2 to
enter
3
later
years, we
and pick
believe
it up for pennies
space-based
on the dollar.
AI compute is going to become the
They're the
lowest
only ones
cost
who will
option
win
as
once
those launch costs
all the
continue to
dust
drop
clears.
and Earth-based
So that
constraints
is my
continue to
prediction.
grow. It's going to just transform
SpaceX is still planning to go to the moon. They are contracted
and then
to
our third limiting
for
factor
what
that
is
we
it?
gotta go
Is it
figure
next
out
year or
is gonna be
2028?
chips, and we
I
got to
can't
do that
remember. Can
fast,
somebody
and
get me
that's
the
what we're doing
date
with Terra
of when
Fab. That's gonna be
Artemis
the
3?
most epic chip building effort ever.
Artemis 3 is
Not
supposed to
just
go.
churning out
They're
really
supposed
cool
to dock
advanced
in
chips,
low
but
Earth
also
orbit.
building a massive
Supposed to
scale,
dock with Starship,
location
and
to do
then
it. We're
Starship
talking
don't even have a
100 million
human
square
landing
feet to about
system
10
that we've
Tesla
seen.
gigafactories.
We got nothing.
All of this together.
Well, apparently there's
sounds
something, but we've never ever
a
seen
bit
photos of
fantastical,
it.
a bit out there, but these are
Not even
real
a photo.
steps that we are taking right now that are going to set us up to
Yeah,
eventually
yeah.
become a
I've also
galactic
publicly
civilization.
said, "Oh
That
man, it
sounds
went
really
viral,"
cool.
and like pissed
I
off
mean,
a lot of people. I said that
harnessing
China are
meaningful
going to
amounts
beat
of power
America
from
to the
the
moon
sun, supporting
because
all of
we
those
don't.
AI
And then I
applications
laid
that are
out
gonna change our
in a
daily
follow-up post. I
lives
laid
and
out
making
why, the
humanity
reasons
a
why.
multiplanetary species.
It's
if you want
because
to learn more, you can watch the full conversation
China already
on our
have
website. Hopefully
a
link appears
human
on the
landing
screen.
system that
If
they're
not, go
actually
look up
testing
Starmine.
out there. We haven't
So
seen
the future's
photos
looking
inside,
pretty
but we've
sweet,
seen photos of the
first things
testing
first, we've got
of
Flight
the
13
like
ahead. Let's
simulating
jump
the
down to
moon
Kate
landing
and
and
Nate
stuff.
for what's
They
ahead.
have runs on the board.
Thanks,
They've got
Dan.
what,
Yeah,
4 probes
the
on the
future
moon.
is built on progressive steps like today's test.
They
let's
seem to
dive
be
into
winning.
the flight profile
Seem to
that
be the
we're gonna
winning
see
the
today.
race at the moment.
That's right. We've got
So
an
unless
exciting
Blue
day in
Moon comes
store.
through,
So
because
starting
I'm
with
not backing
liftoff,
Starship
Super
at all,
Heavy will ignite
at all
those 33
for any of the
Raptor
human
3
landing
engines
system
right off of
requirements.
Pad 2 here in
I'm not.
Starbase.
There's
We will then
no
power
way.
through ascent
You'd
ahead
have
of
to be
hot
mad
stage
to try
separation,
and back
where the
Starship
booster
for
will
that.
shut down all but 5
It's just
engines at the
not
bottom.
going well enough.
Stage 2 will then light
not
its
even
own
close
Raptor
to going
engines,
well
pushing
enough
off from Super Heavy and
to back it.
starting
Here we
our
go.
stage separation maneuver known as hot staging. We'll
Here
then
we go.
have the directional booster flip using 33 engines. And after
flippity-doo-dah.
coasting for a few minutes, the booster today will target a landing burn and ocean splashdown a few miles off the coast of Starbase.
Ship is going to keep the party going with its ascent burn.
Just a
to
few miles,
suborbital
just land the
trajectory,
damn thing
followed
on the
by deployment
chopsticks.
of those 20 Starlink V3 satellites. We also plan to relight a single
Don't explode
Raptor
over.
engine. Re-entry is just a few minutes
And
later,
just
which
off
should
Australia?
provide some amazing views thanks to Starlink. And typically we
They've got
see
their little
some
boy
pretty
out there,
fantastic views of,
little
of the
floaty,
ship's blistering
waiting for
re-entry
it.
through the Earth's
Man on the moon by
atmosphere.
2050.
A plasma blanket will form around
Well,
the
if
vehicle,
nothing goes
never
wrong for
fails to
China, I think
provide
China can do
epic
it.
scenes.
At current
Lastly,
pace,
we'll
NASA
conclude
can't
today's
do
test
it by
with a landing flip,
2030.
a landing burn, and a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. And with that, let's kick it over to Dan.
Well, they're
for
not
a
winning in
countdown
the
update.
tech, but they're keeping it
Thanks,
sufficiently
Kate.
low
Good news.
tech.
We just
The
heard from the flight
thing
director.
about-
We are T-minus 10 minutes. We're a little bit past that now, not tracking any issues for
No
launch
issues.
today.
No
range
issues.
continues to be
So
green. Our range
confidence
team
is
hard
high.
at
I
work, making
repeat,
sure
confidence
we're clear
is
out
high.
in the Gulf and in the Indian
so
Ocean.
yeah,
where
the
we're
thing
gonna
with
be sending the
China
Starship.
is that,
Weather continues to be gorgeous. Again, no clouds. We scrubbed our attempt yesterday.
The thing
or
with
didn't
China
even
is that
try
they're
yesterday because we had such
they're
poor
being smart.
visibility.
They're
Weren't gonna be able to see those tiles on the
reduplicating
way up. That's a key
well,
kind of
smart if
experiment
you
objective
if
for
your
this flight
idea is a
today.
race, and it's
And
because
so
their
we're
first time
looking
getting
really
to the
good
moon,
with weather
right?
today.
They're
In
following the
future,
Apollo plan.
we'll
They follow.
see
It's
what kind
almost
of adverse weather we can
exactly
fly into.
the same.
We are capable and allowed to
Lunar
launch
orbit
into
rendezvous,
lightning,
like the whole thing,
but we're
is
gonna
almost
utilize that
identical
new capability
to
carefully
the Apollo
as we
mission.
eventually continue to evolve
And
Starship
Na-
to fly
NASA
it
has
at an
deliberately
airplane-like
chosen not
cadence.
to do that.
You can see the
for
prop load there on your
not
screen. We're just about
bad
closed out
reasons,
the main tanks
right?
on the ship. We just
But
started propellant load
because they've
in
already
the
done
header
it, right?
tanks
They've
on
already done it
Starship.
back in
Those are the two
'69 and the
smaller
early
ones up
'70s.
top
Already done
that
it
we'll
6
hopefully be using
times.
for the in-space
Landed on the
burn
moon 6
and a
times.
landing burn at
And,
the end of its mission. We
with
started loading
humans.
Our propellant at about T-minus
And
35 minutes today,
it's
and we're going to
so
continue
yeah,
all
it's
the way
understandable that
down
you don't
until
want to
we're
do that
inside 3
again.
minutes to launch.
Okay,
We'll
fair
close out
enough.
about
But if you're in a
2 minutes and
race,
50 seconds on
which
booster, and then 2 minutes and 10
Jared
seconds on
Isaacman
the
has
ship.
said, yes,
So,
we're in a
at the
race with
moment,
China.
we're
He just
looking
said
good.
it a couple
That
of weeks
launch
ago. I
time,
posted the
5:51
video.
PM
Said, yes, we're in a
Central,
race to get back to the moon by 2030. If you want to win that race,
so we'll be back
you're
real
not
soon.
going to do
Toss
it with
back
this.
down to Kate and Nate.
There is
Thanks,
no
Dan.
way
Recently, NASA
Starship
announced
is
the
going to help
astronauts
win
for
that
the
race.
upcoming Artemis 3 mission.
It's not.
The
It'd be
Artemis
great
3
at
mission
deploying
is a crewed
Starlink
demonstration mission
V3s,
in low
great
Earth
as a
orbit
Pez dispenser,
designed to
great for
demonstrate
launching
critical
large
systems needed for
other
future
stuff,
lunar
but
landings. astronauts Andre Douglas,
Human
Luca
landing system.
Parmitano,
Nope.
Randy Bresnik, and
Now they're
Frank
talking
Rubio,
about.
as seen there on your screen.
Oh,
will
didn't
crew the
they get
mission,
pissed?
And it's slated for
Oh, didn't the
2027.
internet get pissed off?
It's a great crew.
About
and
this
it's
crew
also the
selection. Oh, there's no
penultimate mission,
woman.
The final
There's
test
no
before
woman.
Artemis 4 attempts to put astronaut boots back on the moon for the
Jesus
first time
Christ.
since 1972. We'll be launching a Starship with a docking port on the nose so we can practice rendezvous and docking with the crew. And one
They're gonna
key
practice
test
this.
objective comes after docking,
And the
where we will
humans
be able to
cannot
test
get
out
through the dock
maneuverability
into
of
the
vehicles
Starship.
together while in space.
It's just going to be
This
like a
has the
dock.
new importance as
Whereas the
revamped
Blue
plan for
Origin
lunar
one, the Blue
landings
Origin, they
use
are
Starship
going to
do the
try and
burn,
transfer
sending
over to
astronauts
the Blue
to
Moon.
the moon from Earth
Right?
orbit.
They are
And
going to
one
try
other
and
cool
physically
ad,
move
NASA
them
is
over.
putting 2
So,
SpaceX
you
mini
know,
lasers on Orion
this
to connect
Starship
it to our
thing for
Starlink
human landing
constellation
systems
with
bullshit.
the goal of enabling 4K
Pointless.
imagery and
Just to
video
do a docking
from the
test
spacecraft
when you
while
can't
in
even go
space.
inside.
So that's going to be pretty
And
awesome.
we've never
to
seen a
see.
Awesome
single
views, for
photo
sure.
Yeah, there's lots
inside
of excitement planned
the
for next year
Starship
as we all
human
work
landing
together
system.
to send humans back to the moon.
Not a single photo.
And speaking of sending humans to space, former
Yep.
SpaceXer and current NASA astronaut Anil Menon is actually up on the space station right now as part of Expedition 74, and he captured these sweet photos of Starbase.
How many
during
kilograms
ISS
of ice
flyover.
get added to the
Hi,
structural
Anil.
weight
We're
from
all waving back at
condensation
you,
after
buddy.
propellant load?
It's awesome
yeah.
to see the whole
yeah.
picture here. As
It's probably
there's
not a
lots of
huge
facility
amount in the
infrastructure
scheme of
development
things. It's
going
probably
on,
just one extra
but
engine's
Starbase isn't
worth, one
alone on that
extra.
front.
Yeah, it changes
It's a
every day.
33 engines
But
worth or something.
Talking
yeah.
about other
I don't know.
locations, work
Couple of
is
tons.
well underway in Florida to get pads 39A and Slick 37A ready for future Starship launches.
So yes, I'm very
potentially
excited
later
about
this year.
the
Starship launches
Blue
from
Origin,
Cape Canaveral are key to hit the
HLS-1.
necessary launch
Well, it's not
cadence to get
HLS.
back
It's
to the moon,
a
build a
Blue
moon
Moon
base,
one,
head to Mars,
which was supposed to
all the
launch this
exciting
year.
stuff ahead in the future.
It was
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
we were,
And that
until
future
that
gets
bloody
closer
explosion.
and closer with tests like today's flight. And with that, we are just under 6 minutes until launch. So that brings
I mean,
us to terminal count.
The thing with
Excitement is
SpaceX
definitely
is they
gaining
don't give a
traction down
shit
here as
about the
crowd is
NASA moon
gathering
landing.
just
They
behind
don't
us
give
on
a
the
shit,
lawn
and it's
outside,
obvious
and
that they
happy
don't
to
give a
say
shit.
Still not a cloud
And
in
you
the sky.
probably can't
Dan, how are
blame
things
them.
up at Mission Control?
It's NASA's
Things
fault.
are
I
still
blame
looking
NASA for
really good,
giving
Kate. We
Starship
are
the
still
human
not
landing
tracking
system
any
contract.
holds on the
And
board,
back
no issues
when
with
they
the
first gave it to them,
vehicle
it was
or
an
with the pad.
exclusive contract.
Our range continues
Ridiculous.
to be green, both
Ridiculous.
in the Gulf and
But
out
they
in the
did
Indian
promise them
Ocean
the
for flight
moon.
today. We'll continue monitoring that all the way
Unintended.
down to the final
Yeah.
minutes. We are going to be
As
closing
somebody,
out our
I think
propellant
maybe
loading
was a
on the
former
booster and the
NASA
ship
director said
within the
this or
next
something.
3 minutes.
But they,
We're gonna
all
have
when they
about
were
11.5
tendering for the
million
human landing
pounds
system
of liquid
contract,
oxygen and liquid
they
methane on
were
both of those
all the
stages once
other
we're
all the
done.
other
That'll be time for the
all the
pad
other
to
providers
essentially
who
ready
actually put in a
itself,
tender bid for
where
it,
we
they
clear
were
out all of the
promising
prop that's
a
been
bus,
flowing through feed
whereas
lines up into the
Starship,
launch mount,
whereas
up into the
SpaceX
tower,
promised
those
an
go back into
aircraft
the
carrier.
propellant farm,
They, we
get
can land
it
an
ready,
aircraft
and
carrier
we'll
on
do
the
those
moon.
final
It was
thrust
that
vector
much of a
control, those
difference
steering
in
checks,
capability.
as we
That
get a little
and it
bit
was cheaper.
closer.
Um,
If we need to hold
so, of
that
course,
whole time,
NASA,
it's new for
being the
this launch, and we saw it briefly.
unbelievably
on our
stupid
attempt
people that
last
they
week.
weren't.
That
Oh,
hold is
well,
set
they're
at
going to
T-minus
land
60
an
seconds
aircraft
now.
carrier on the
That's where
moon
we
with at
can
half the
pause,
price.
we can
It's like,
wait.
no.
We needed to just kind of hang
man,
out for
it
any
was just
pressurizations, anything
stupid
like
idea.
that to
No,
clear.
they should have
We've got a
gone with
couple of
one of
minutes
the
to
other
hang there.
providers.
We
I love the
will only
alpaca.
hold
Go and look up
if
the
there's an
alpaca
issue,
lander.
and we're not
Bit of an
tracking any
alpaca
holds
fanboy.
on the board right now.
That's right.
That looks
Now,
like it
once
can do the
T-minus
job for the
60
human
seconds
landing
passes,
system.
A number of events
And they
will
should have
occur
gone
in
with
rapid
multiple
succession.
providers from day
Both
one.
The ship
I
and
think.
booster will configure their comm systems
But
for
no,
flight.
no, they went
and
with
they will
Starship,
rapidly
and then
run
a
leak
couple of
checks
years
on
later they
gas
went,
and fluid
oopsie.
tanks. Meanwhile, the
We don't
booster
think
will be going into
Starship's
internal
going to work
power,
for this
and its
human
engines
landing
will get
system,
their
but we
final
can't
priming for launch.
lose face.
Those ship engines
So
will
we've
also
got
begin their ascent bleed
to keep
profile,
technically
and it will
keep
arm
going with
its
it.
automatic flight safety
And
system. There's a lot of
then
mechanical
open it up.
activations on
They
the
open up
tower
the
side
contract
as well,
again,
with
and
one
sure enough,
critical
Blue
step
Moon
being
are going
unlatching
to
of
do
the
it with
quick
their
disconnect, feeding
BM2.
propellant into
Blue
the
Moon
ship.
2 lander is going to be
And
the.
once T-minus 60 seconds has passed,
And they're gonna have a
we still
shootout.
have the
They're
ability
gonna have a
to
space
rapidly
shootout
recycle the count
on
under certain
Artemis
conditions,
3, apparently.
back to that T-minus 60 seconds point and hold
Anyway,
there to assess
I
what
need a drink.
happened and if teams can proceed once again to T0. There's an estimated 5 to 8 minutes of hold time, and that's largely driven by the propellant temperatures
didn't miss
that we
anything,
see on the vehicle
Teeny.
while holding. The flame diverter on pad 2, you can see it there at the base of Starship.
The red pill
That
likes
activates at
Starship, but he
T-minus
agrees with
17
me.
Seconds. Now, if
Confidence
we hold,
level?
if we trigger a hold after T-minus
I don't know. I'm
17
50-50 on this
seconds, that
one
will result
because
in a
they
scrub
did
for
not.
the
Well,
day,
the
as
booster.
we've already turned on the water.
Booster, I'm probably 50-50 because
Now, for
they
those that
they
have
re
just recently
they replace
tuned
even
in,
replaced the
once
Raptor
again,
engines, all the
our
turbo
primary
pumps on
test
here.
objectives for today's test flight
And
includes a successful liftoff, stage separation.
Stage
We
separation.
also plan to deploy 20 Starlink V3
20?
satellites. We have
Wow,
real
they've upped it.
satellites on board. We expect to have
20
about
of
20 minutes of
And they're gonna
available
last
time
20
to
minutes.
speed run some tests and really allow the Starlink engineers to put them to the test in that time.
That's right, and we also have the soft
Of course I wouldn't
splashdowns
go.
planned for both the booster
You crazy?
and the ship. Going to be super exciting.
The
to
old
see if we
booster
can
was
return
super
those
reliable.
safely
Yeah, so
back
I'm probably
that way we can get
50-50 on
ready
the
for tower
booster
catches
because,
again.
unfortunately, well,
And just
no.
a quick check-in, we got
If
our
they
final
light-
green
if they
light
light,
from the range, not tracking
probably
any issues on
80%
ascent or
confident,
out in the Indian Ocean
85%
for
confident,
entry, so
but
that was kind of the final go
on
for
the
flight
booster, that
we
is
wait
Starship.
for in these final
Starship's
minutes.
always a toss-up.
Prop
Like,
load
you can
now
never
closing
give
out
Starship
on
any better
both
than
vehicles.
50-50.
We have no holds.
Something always goes wrong with Starship.
Again,
But no, I'm
We've got that gate. At
okay. I'm going to
T-1
be
minute.
reasonably
We're only
confident.
gonna
I
hold
think
if
they've
there's a
probably
reason,
nailed the
and
turbo
currently
pump
there are no
problem with the ignition on the Raptor engines.
Coming up here
The
in
Starship
a few
engines
seconds,
have
we
been
should
reasonably
have,
reliable.
Actually, right there we can see on screen.
late.
That's the base
Here
of
we
the
go. Are
super
they going to
heavy
do a wiggle,
booster.
wiggle, wiggle?
Those are
Yeah.
the
Oh, we're
33
almost there.
Raptor
Minute.
engines, and we expect
Wasn't
to
keeping
see
track.
and there they go, the TVC checkouts, also known as engine wiggles. We're activating those thrust
yeah,
vector
wiggle.
control actuators to ensure that
All right.
those
We're
center
going.
engines and
Okay,
the
I'll
inner
up my
radius as well
confidence
have the
to
ability to
70%
steer the
that
rocket.
they
Yep,
deploy
super cool
the
to see how
Starlink.
fast those move. I mean, in
Things.
flight, it's amazing to see how it's
Reasonably confident. I'm more confident than not
T-minus
that
1
they're going
minute
to
now
deploy
on
the Starlinks.
our
Whether or
countdown,
not
so
Starship
let's
makes it
listen in
back,
to see if we pass that gate.
I don't know. Whether or not the booster makes it back, whether those engines can relight for the booster burn. If they do relight, there's only a single problem with the booster, which is relight. So, you know, I should be more confident than that.
We are through the gate.
But it's lucky
Still
13.
no holds on the board.
So, but I
50
think they're going to
seconds
pull it
go.
off. I think they'll pull it off.
Starship
I'm being a
getting
bit
ready to
harsh,
fly.
maybe. I think they'll do it. So, audio level's good. Can people give me a last second audio level? Me compared to them, I want them to be slightly less than me. Yep. Light this candle.
Flight directors go for launch.
Go for launch. Pretty confident. Audio's fine, thank you. Good. Excellent. Thank you. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm going to say 80% confident.
-9.
I'm feeling
8,
lucky.
7.
I'm feeling lucky.
6,
Yep.
5,
Come on. Watch
4,
that engine display.
3,
Watch that engine
2,
display.
1.
They all lit. They all lit. She's going.
Lift off Starship.
Go, you Bobby Dazzler. She's going. I hope they can nail the reliability on the V3s. And it's just a relight issue. They light, well, a light slash relight because they shut them off and then.
Pitching downrange.
Yeah, it's good.
Chamber pressure's
It's
nominal.
good. Chamber pressure nominal for the Raptors. Oh, look at that shot. Gorgeous.
30
Gorgeous.
seconds into flight. 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on the super heavy booster.
They nailed it. All right, you can increase your confidence level now. They lit once, but they lit once last time. They all lit, and then they had the relit problem, but they know about it, and they reckon they've fixed it.
On max Q, maximum
So,
aerodynamic pressure, which again,
I think the booster's going to be successful today. I'm now 90% confident on the booster. Starship, who knows? They're deliberately removing tiles again on the Starship to stress test it for the 10th time.
Pressure over a minute now into flight.
Man,
still seeing 33.
my confidence level is at
33
confident.
Raptor engines
Awesome
lit
views,
and
great, isn't it? Very
Our
impressive.
next major moment's going to be coming up in just a little over a minute from now.
Yeah, these
when we're gonna get to
these
hot
Starlinks, which
We're
are
going
fully
to
functional
shut down
V3
all
Starlinks for
but
the first time
5
ever,
of those
they will
engines
have
on the
new
boosters
high-def
are
cameras on
version
them,
of Miko.
apparently.
Most engines
And I
cut
think
off,
they've got new high-def
and then
cameras
we're going to
elsewhere,
ignite
like
the
in
6
the shot when it
engines on the
separates or
ship.
something. So, sorry, I'm not streaming in
attached to
4K.
do that
Sorry, I'm only streaming in
separation.
1080p. But
As a
apparently
reminder, we try to do a directional flip. So
Wow.
when you watch on your screen, we're hopefully going to be sending that booster
This is
towards
looking
the
good.
bottom of the frame. For the booster itself, it's like doing a flip up. It'll go towards the bottom of your frame.
Did
we do
Starship
that by lighting the engines in a slightly
Did
staggered
Starship have that
sequence.
protrusion last time? Is that new? Because
Standing by for
that's part of the propellant, the in orbit propellant load. Nice shot of the engines. That's inside Starship.
All but 5 engines down.
Cut off.
Tap.
5. Yep, they said 5.
6.
Here we go.
Burn startup.
It's starting up. All the engines are lit. Sorry, bottom right corner. All the Starship.
And the booster now doing its boost back burn. It looks like we lit all 33 initially. Now we're down to 13. We're seeing 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on the ship.
Doing well. They have to nail this test. They have to. Otherwise, it's it's just a joke now.
Burn
Like
shut down.
seriously. Okay, they're all shut down. All the Raptors.
And
The
boost back burn
5 engines
shut
on the
down. So it
6.
looks like we were
Sorry,
able to
on
get
the
through boost back
Starship
burn
are all
this
lit.
time around. That was one of the key objectives we didn't have
looking
on
good.
the last
Pressure's
flight.
nominal.
It's looking good.
And we've got 6 engines lit on the ship. All right, so that's the first of 2 burns.
I
that
think
the booster's
I
gonna be doing
yes,
to
the
kinda send it
the
back
circle around the
towards
engines
us.
is fuel. I think
it's going to
isn't
be
it?
landing a couple of miles offshore from
I don't actually
Starbase,
know that.
hopefully.
I
We're
should.
gonna try and get it all the way down to do a landing burn.
Makes sense.
Where we're going to use those 13 center engines. They're going to ignite. That's what's going to really bleed off all that velocity that
And
it's built
no,
up.
they are not going to
And it'll
catch
eventually, hopefully,
either of these.
transition
They're going to
to
land
5
in the
engines
ocean.
to kind
The
of
booster will
fine-tune
land
its
back
path
just
in,
several miles
and then
off the
all way
coast
down
of
to
where
3
it launched.
for the remaining
The Gulf
bit.
of America. And the
All right, we've got a
Starship
couple of
will
minutes
land
to go until
off
we
the
get
coast
there.
of Western
so
Australia.
Going to coast for a little
So
bit.
it goes halfway around the planet.
Ship still seeing 6 out of 6 Raptor engines lit. 4 minutes into the flight, ship's got about 4 minutes
Starship's
left.
good.
Getting some killer
Starship's
views.
good.
Kate, Nate, how was the view from from down there?
It was
If-
incredible.
If
I
this
mean,
is
it
successful,
just shot
they
off the
have
pad
to. They
and seeing all the
absolutely
crowd
have
now
to
running back
catch
inside to take
Starship
views
on
the
that's
screen
ice
here.
falling off.
It was amazing.
They have to,
one of these days
absolutely
I'm
have
gonna
to
learn to not stare
go
at
to
the
orbit
engines
for the
'cause
next
now
one.
I have a
They're like
bright
they
blob
have to,
in my
and they have to
vision.
catch or
Now,
land
speaking of vision,
Starship.
We could see both
They
stages
they
there
have to
on
go
your
for it.
screen.
It's just getting
Starship second
it's just
stage
getting
is still
ridiculous
firing
at this
its
point.
engines. You can follow along with that, with the GUI down on the bottom right hand.
Not even a
side of
banana.
your,
No, we'll
screen.
get some great shots from the Starlinks.
Still following the
And
planned
these are the
flight
new
path
V3s,
as
but they're
well.
only going to go for
Beautiful
20
views of
minutes because
planet
this is
Earth there
suborbital
behind
test
the ship.
flight again. For the what 13th time?
That's right, and we're actually getting a live
Yeah,
shot.
they-
off the
they
booster
have to
right
catch or
now
land it.
on
That's so
board
cool.
camera. You
Oh,
can see the
there you go.
plume from Starbase where it just
Nice.
lifted off 5 minutes
Starship
ago.
on nominal trajectory.
Everything's nominal.
We are there.
Incredible. We are there. That is
It's going
us.
well.
I kind of want to
It's
run
going
back
well.
outside and wave.
Right,
So,
right.
but
Now,
hopefully they
again,
nailed the
this booster
relight
is
problems
not planning
on
to
the
come
Raptor
back to the
V3s.
tower
We'll
or
find
the
out
launch
shortly.
site for this
We're
particular
coming up to
launch.
super heavy
we
landing
are gonna
there.
be planning to do an ocean splashdown just off the coast of Starbase. So hoping to still get some amazing
Oh, look
views
at
of
that. Cool. That's inside Starship.
Pretty awesome to see the Raptor engines there.
That's
on
great.
The
You can
left-hand side of your
just
screen.
see-
You can actually see the plume there.
Plume out of that one.
Those center
Just.
Raptors.
Just.
Those are
But
the sea level
that's
ones,
gorgeous. Look at that.
As well as the
Wow.
vacuum Raptors are the 3 on the larger ones on the outer radius.
Now, just like on tower catches, we are going to be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow the booster down. Hopefully, we can get a live camera of the booster right now as we're going into that phase.
And the
Awesome
images
shot,
all
you
come
can
from
see it there.
Starlink. It's
So
amazing.
right now, the booster is using their 3 hypersonic grid fins to guide
Yeah,
itself through the
a new
atmosphere
design, another suborbital
toward
test
its
is
landing
warranted.
site.
Yeah, I know,
You can
it's
see we're
just
only
getting
5
annoying. You
kilometers
know,
above the sea
even
right
if it's
here.
warranted, I know, but it's just, yeah.
Just heard the
Yeah.
call out for landing burn startup for the booster.
Yes, they did upgrade the cameras. Yes, they upgraded the cameras. Here we go. Oh, lit. We got 5. We got 5. It's landing. It's landing. It's landing. That's landing. Oh, we lost the feed.
Awesome landing for Super Heavy. Congratulations to all the teams here at Starbase and
well
at
done.
our SpaceX
They
team.
relit.
An
They
amazing,
relit.
amazing view.
That seemed to come down really quick. But we didn't get a shot.
To go well with ship, as you can see
They
there
should have
on
had
your
a
screen.
boy out there with a camera on it. So we'll probably get that footage later. But apparently successful.
Yeah, we've got
Tick.
about a minute left
Tick.
with the ship
Nice.
engines on. Just
So they
looking at
nailed
the
that.
booster real
They
quick.
nailed it.
It didn't look like we lit all 13 engines that we were planning for that initial landing burn. We were targeting a softer splashdown, and as you saw, it came in with quite a bit of velocity still.
Yep.
So landing velocity did look a little bit high, but really
That's a
cool
fail.
to make it all the way back this time to that landing
It's a
burn.
fail.
We'll dig in,
Booster fail.
figure out how to turn on all those engines, and then get to
Booster
a full landing
fail.
soon.
All right.
But all eyes on ship. We are just
There you go.
a
Booster
little
fail.
ways away.
Yeah, they said
from
13.
getting
Yeah, I was
the
wondering why
burn
5
off.
had
We
lit.
expected
Yeah.
to burn about 8
Yep.
minutes and change.
It
And
crashed.
So
Yep.
hopefully just about 15
Yep.
minutes to go.
Yep, that's a fail. I was
like we just got
premature
the
on
solid
my...
boom
Because they said, oh, it's
here at
landed.
Starbase.
So I assumed that they knew what they were talking about. They didn't. Yep. Yep. I thought it came in too quick. I
And
called that
engine
out.
shut down.
Yep. Yep. Crash landing. Booster failed. Engine shut down. There you go. That must not be a fuel gauge. That must be until engine shut down, the
All
circle
right,
around the
Starship
engine.
6 Raptor
For whoever
engines
was
have
asking that. I don't think
successfully
that's not
shut
fuel.
down.
That's time
Nominal orbit
until.
insertion.
It's time. Time until
And there's
shutdown.
our call out for nominal orbit insertion. So we got a ship
Nominal
in
suborbital
space. We've got
insertion.
a booster in the Gulf where we were planning to send it.
All right. So Starship
Hell
is
of a start
working
to the
so
day,
far.
Kate.
Yeah, it
And
sure
yeah,
is.
these here, these
All
are
of
the
our
fuel
colleagues
docking
here are
ports.
filing in through the
They're
doors.
moving the
A lot of
flappy.
people wanted to stay
These are the
outside and, hear the
in
boom,
orbit
and so, it's pretty
fuel
great to see
ports,
a
I
ship
believe.
in space, and everybody's
So
super excited. down
whether or
here.
not
That's right.
there's anything
And
in
as
there
guaranteed,
to actually
it
do
has
that,
been
I don't know.
An awesome day so far. All this action in just 9 minutes now.
Yeah,
And
awesome day, but it's
objectives are
failed.
done for the
Something
booster.
fell
Just
off
wanna
there.
Quickly flag that booster did land in a clear zone. We clear those before launch, well ahead. So that
Yeah,
we
it landed
ensure
in a
everyone
clear
is
zone, but
safe
it failed.
before the launch and after. So we're getting ready now for
Came in
our
too fast.
in-space
No, that's a
objectives.
failure.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes until the next milestone, so sit tight.
Yes,
and
yes, the
enjoy
Pez
the
is there.
space
That's the
views and,
window
of
for the
course,
Pez
space
dispenser.
jams. We'll be back here
But
at T+14
I can only
minutes to
presume that
deploy
they're
our
the ports
payload,
for the
which
in
is
orbit
20
fuel.
of
Am I
our
wrong?
newest Starlink version 3 satellites. So we'll see you soon.
All right. They're going to leave us to contemplate our navel with space music. I think I got copyright struck last time on the space music, so I'm going to mute it. There we go. I'm going to mute it. I'm pretty sure that was the copyright strike last time. So there you go. Yeah, that's a thumb sideways for the booster. Some of them relit, but not all of them. So they have not nailed the turbo pump. They believe it was the turbo pump, the fuel, the air turbo pump. So no oxygen. You don't get oxygen in there. They don't light. So yeah. They can't admit the booster failed. Yeah, they're not going to use the fail word. They've got to be, which is fair enough. They've got to be optimistic. You know, they've got to put a positive spin on everything. You know, that's the official line. And the booster used to be so good. The booster was the most reliable thing out of this whole stack. The booster, you could have put humans on that V2 booster with the V2 Raptors. My God, it was so good. And they tower catched it twice, didn't they? And then they successfully landed it like 8 times or something. And then they went with the V3 engines. I can see why. They're gorgeous, right? Gorgeous, minimalistic design. Fantastic. But they haven't nailed it, obviously. There's turbo pump issues. There's apparently the oxygen turbo pumps just don't relight as they should. And they had a whole bunch not relight. They're supposed to do 13. What'd they get, 5 or 7? Yes, S40 is the 40th. Yeah, it's the 40th ship Starhopper was the first, wasn't it? Technically, or is that no, because was Starhopper classified as a Starship? The Hopper one? I'm not sure. Yeah, V3, yes, but it's less reliable. Yeah, the Raptor V3 is less reliable, which is a real shame because they had nailed it. That booster was the duck's guts. Unbelievably good. And Starship was the thing that was always blowing up, and everyone goes, oh, it's, but no, the booster was fantastic. And now they got problems, but they'll nail it. But they should have nailed it this flight. They should have. And looks like they didn't. So that sucks. I have no idea if it was AI designed. I'm not sure of the actual how they light it with hydrazine or whatever. I'm not sure. But all I know is that they said at the start of the stream that it was the oxygen. Dan said it was the oxygen turbo pump that was causing the relight problem. There was some sort of, I think, was it a fuel mix? I can't actually remember. I wasn't streaming then, so you won't be able to go back and check. But if you're watching the stream, he did actually outline the technical detail why those engines didn't relight. And it's simply an engine relight issue. It's not an engine reliability issue. The engines aren't blowing up. They're not, they seem super reliable when they're operational, as you saw there. But when they shut them down and then try and relight them, that's when they got problems. But yeah, and as you saw on the last flight, 2 of them did, or 3 of them. Was it 3? Yes, 3 of them didn't light on launch. So that's why the automated systems aborted the launch last time. But they nailed that this time, but when they're hot, they just don't want to relight. They removed a lot of the debugging equipment, you think. Okay, yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah. Makes you think why they stuck with the RS-25 engines. Yeah, when you've got a reliable engine, stick with it. Speaking of which, last night, before I went to bed, I didn't have time to confirm it, but somebody on X somewhere mentioned that mentioned that SpaceX had just announced that they're discontinuing the Falcon 9. Like, as in, yeah, they're discontinuing putting all the eggs in the Starship basket. Can somebody confirm that, please? I'm not going to do it here because I have to pop out of stuff. I want to stick with it. Can somebody confirm that if SpaceX has officially announced, or Elon has announced, that they're retiring the Falcon 9? Because that's mad. That's mad. That is your bread and butter. That is, and it's super reliable. I think one of the boosters I just saw the other day, I don't remember the number of the booster, but it was, it had flown 38 times or something. And then they decided to retire it or something. It's crazy. You felt like it should all be over the CNBC, and it wasn't? Okay. Hey, Joe. Yeah, that could be total just BS. SpaceX has stopped building some components for the Falcon rocket family as rejecting customers who want to buy Falcon 9 missions after 2028. Okay. Thank you, M. Lonster. Right, so they did actually announce something last night? Is that correct? They just made the announcement, did they? They're not moving away from order. Why would you do that? That is mad. That is mad to publicly announce that. If you want to do it privately, sure, look, guys, we think Starship's going to be the winner and you're not going to want Falcon after 2028, so just heads up, Pro engineer Bloomberg reporting SpaceX will start to move away from Falcon 9 in 2028. Okay, right. All right. Thank you. It's confirmed. Okay, so it wasn't BS. They have announced some sort of phase out of Falcon 9. Yeah, 5 failed and went out. That's a huge number. That's crazy. Surely this isn't the Osborne effect, right? It could be. Could be. Like imagine, because oh, there we go. Pez.
And there you go.
Pez.
You can
Sorry, I
see
wasn't
our
looking. Was
first
Pez there before?
Starlink V3 getting deployed out of Starship.
There you go.
Huge milestone for the team out here.
Okay. We've got an outside shot. That's on the fin. We can see it. Are we going to get the camera feed from... Because all these Starlinks have
with deployment
high-def cameras on them.
Dispenser. Now, this version of Starship is built to...
I kind of like the Pez. The Pez dispenser is pretty cool. I'm going to... Like, I have no doubt that they're going to nail this. You know, they'll eventually get Starship right. And...
Now, let's put that into Falcon 9
Was that a USA
terms real
chant?
quick.
I don't know.
Starship launch with V3
yeah, real
satellites
Starlink
will
hardware.
launch 20
There's 20 of them.
the capacity into
But
the
they're only going to last
constellation
20
as a
minutes. They have
single
20
launch
minutes to
of
test these
V2
things.
satellites
20
on
minutes.
Falcon
Imagine
9.
the
Just
engineers
incredible.
going crazy
And
down there. Oh, I've
anybody
only got
that
20
follows
minutes
Starship,
to
you
test
know
all the
that
laser
the views that we're being
array and
treated to
everything
right
and all
now,
the comms
views
and
we
the...
get during
Oh my
those
God.
re-entries, that's
You know?
made possible by Starlink.
20 minutes.
It's given us just this unprecedented look into Starship as it's flying through space.
Well, okay. Well,
this
this is good news.
It's powering the dozens of cameras we have on
yeah, the
board.
lunar
It's giving us
astronauts must be
real-time
less than
data
40
on
centimeters
every
thick.
system that's telemetered on board
But
that
like, I
vehicle
don't care.
in
Like,
real
Pez
time.
dispenser, great.
We
Starlink,
use
great.
the
Okay,
exact
but I don't
same
particularly care. I'm a
constellation to
moon
power all
guy.
of our cameras
You
that
know,
we
and that's
have
where
out in the
all
field
of my
here in the
criticism
Indian
of
Ocean.
SpaceX comes from
really powerful
is that I want to
technology
see
for just
humans back on the
connecting you no
moon,
matter where
and
the heck you
Starship
are
is
on the
not the
planet,
tool
off
for the job.
planet. So
Might
thank you,
eventually be
Starlink,
for cargo and stuff,
letting me
but for
watch
the
this
human
stuff
landing
as we
system
fly through
to
space.
beat
It's
the
pretty awesome.
beat the
We
Chinese
get
back to the moon by
about
2030.
240 megabits
Artemis
per second
3.
of data rate off Starship, which everybody in the spaceflight community knows
Well,
that's pretty insane.
Pez dispenser's
when
really
you're
cool.
usually dealing
Works.
with single
We're
digits,
getting no shots though. Where are
on
the
some of
shots?
older
They said they
systems,
put
so
cameras.
gives you a lot of insight, gives you a lot
And
of
we got that
ability to
shot
just
last
rapidly
time.
iterate, know what the heck happened.
So why can't we get
when
the shot
things
this
go wrong.
time?
But looks like we're seeing some more satellites get out the door. We do have
What's the frequency
cameras
rate? Is
on
somebody timing
some
these?
of
I'm sure
them.
there's some nerd timing.
The last couple
the
that
rate
are
of
going to go out are going to
Pez
try
dispensing.
and do the heat shield imaging that we attempted last flight.
I think the
don't
Pez
have
dispenser is a
that
great
camera
idea
view
for
that we
launching
got
satellites like
on
this. For
Flight 12
doing
where
the
you
Starship is
kinda see
designed
the satellite
to do
leaving
that job. You
Starship.
know,
Those aren't on the
it's
V3
great.
satellites.
But oh
we
my
are
God, going
gonna,
to the moon
on
and
the last
Mars,
couple that
and
go out,
Starship. Give me a
have some
break.
pretty narrow field view cameras that are going to be looking back at Starship, turn on some flashlights, and this is a test of a capability that we're really going to want.
They burn the Artemis
when
money
we start
pooping
doing
out space
orbital
modems.
flights
Yeah.
to just add that extra
Yep.
layer of
Like,
safety.
we haven't even
that
seen a
extra
single
layer of
photo
reliability where we're going
of
to be
the
able
human
to
landing
image
variant of the
Starship's heat shield
Starship. My God,
after
can we?
it's gone through ascent,
like,
after it's been in space.
supposed to be
before
launching
it
next year,
re-enters.
isn't it?
So we're going to try to test that again.
Well, it doesn't matter.
today.
They don't need the insides
heat
because
shield
humans aren't
imaging,
going to go
we
in
didn't
there.
get a whole lot last time.
So
Looks like we got
lame.
some thunderstorms on planet Earth below us.
I'm really
but
annoyed. It pisses me
A
off.
couple more satellites to go.
That
looks like.
SpaceX don't take. They should have yanked the contract
it's
from
pretty
them when it was
awesome
clear they
to
weren't
see
taking it
our
seriously.
V3s in space. I want to give a
They
shout
just
out
didn't
to our
care
Starlink
because it's a
colleagues.
pittance for them, right? SpaceX
And we
makes a
expect,
buttload of money,
payload deploy
right?
to run until
and
about
and
27
their
and a
goal
half
was
minutes,
Mars
so
and all the
about
other
another
bullshit. And
7
fine,
minutes here.
if that's you want to use your private money for all that,
The Starlink
great, go
team
ahead.
will be attempting to
But-
speed run these tests, or excuse me, speed run test these
crazy.
version 3 satellites, where they will attempt to do a few tests, such as extend the new solar arrays,
Contract
and
rejections
antennas.
at
They're also
2028. I
gonna
don't know
try
anything about
and
that.
Connect these V3 satellites with ground stations and turn on the satellite's communication systems. Now, they're only going to have about 20 minutes or so to do all of this, as these satellites only have.
You wouldn't
that
know who
long
burns a
before
buttload of
they
money?
demise in
Rocket
the
Lab.
atmosphere or break up due to that
Love
friction
Rocket Lab.
when
I
they,
love me Rocket Lab.
re-enter the atmosphere. So
But
what we learned from today's deployment will help progress.
share price should not be as high as it
move
is.
the program forward, which is
it's a pure
super
growth
exciting.
speculative stock.
You
If you
could
follow me on
basically
X,
say
you'll,
that the
you'll see me
payload's
tweeting
payload
about
is
this.
data. Like
That's right.
we're getting very
SpaceX
inception
burns
here.
a buttload of money.
Now, in addition
Try Rocket
to
Lab.
those tests for Starlink, for the Starlink team, as Dan mentioned, 6 of the
Someone's
satellites
timed it.
have been modified.
Livy used
with
timed it,
engineering
54,
cameras
55
to
seconds.
help
All right.
Scan Starship's
Round it
heat
up to a
shield.
minute.
That will help inform our
somebody timed it.
analysis of Starship's readiness for future catch returns back here at our launch site. So for those that might be
Starlink or
unfamiliar,
Skynet?
we are currently capable of catching our super
How
heavy
many
booster.
have they got out? And we
we've
got
done
no
that
footage.
A couple times.
We got no footage,
We have
nothing.
not yet attempted to
nada.
catch our second
From
stage
the-
or ship.
they've got cameras on
and
the
so that
Starlinks.
is, going to be a
And
very
little
exciting
floodlights.
milestone when that day
Supposed
comes.
to turn the floodlight. And we saw
Sure,
that
and we're
last
building
time.
up to
It was
With
great.
today's test, we are still planning to do our water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So stay tuned for that. That's only about
So
40
everything's going
minutes away.
fine for Starship,
still but
but
in
booster
space,
was fail
we
if
keep
you're
on
just coming in.
deploying
Oh, there
our
we go, another
Starlink
one.
Satellites. Again,
If you're
these
just
are
coming
our
in,
V3 version
yeah,
of
the
our Starlink
booster,
satellites. A
it
whole
boosted.
host
It
of
didn't
added
deboost.
capabilities to our version 2 that's currently in orbit.
No, I have not experienced a real launch. I want to. They're happy.
Our team here at
Yeah, great
Starbase
for
Texas.
Starlink.
These are
Not
all
useful for getting us
team
back to the
members
moon.
That have helped build the vehicle, that have built the Pez dispenser, and got it ready to fly today. Amazing
Last
work.
4 have cameras. Okay, right. Okay, it's the last
Now,
4.
for those of you
okay,
that have
thank
just
you.
recently tuned in, there is
I thought they
a
all had them
spaceship
or something.
in your screen, we promise. Right now, the ship is in orbital darkness, so we don't have any available sunlight from the sun.
Surely
to
they've
help
deployed them all
illuminate
now.
the
They're going
scene.
back to the-
But what you can see,
no.
moving out from
There
that
goes another one.
smally lit space, those are the V3
And
satellites.
I haven't
as they're
seen any
being
floodlights
deployed,
come on because
and
you would see
essentially
it in
the
this
ship
shot.
is
You would see
illuminated
all
from
of
the
this
inside,
light up.
and so we're able
You would
to see
see
light
the
come out
rocket, which is
through
in this
the payload
orientation
port.
here.
Right. Just
Orientation
a
like this,
really
light
small
up.
sliver of light at the
You'd
top.
see it
That's
light
our
up.
Pez dispenser. That's how we're
This
both
is the
loading
internal
our satellites
lights.
into the rocket and deploying it. It's pretty novel. We've got about 3.5 minutes.
Did the
still
screen
left
flicker there?
of our
That was the
payload
static from the
deploy
chair.
sequence.
Through the HDMI cable. Done a video on that.
Looks like we've got
Come on.
16 satellites deployed, so 4 more
16?
to go.
These are the ones
last
with
couple
cameras,
will
right?
have those cameras, so if you
Yay, here we
see
go.
any
All right.
sudden bright lights, that'll be
All right.
flashlights turning on those satellites to try and
Here we go.
get some imagery.
Here we
of
go. The
Starship's heat
floodlights
shield.
should turn on right about now. Now-ish.
17 out the door.
Now-ish. Come on.
3
Now-ish.
more to go, and 18.
Now-ish. Geez, that one came out quick behind the other one. Lights,
All right,
please.
While we wait for these last 2, we did confirm we are still go for our
No
Raptor
lights.
relight demonstration a little bit later
Hello?
in the flight today, so we will be looking to relight one of those Raptor engines on ship.
Yeah, they
That'll
don't
be our next
actually
major
use that
milestone
much
after we get
taxpayer money,
through these
relatively
final 2
speaking, but I
satellites.
guess that's not the point, right? Pez is empty now. No, I thought they had 4. I only saw 2 come out. And none
Just
of them
at
lit up
25
floodlights.
minutes into our flight, it's crazy to think that
going
we're
on?
already screaming at 27,000 kilometers an hour, 200 kilometers above the ocean surface.
Come on. You can do it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now, for those of you that lost count, we have deployed almost all of our 20 Starlink satellites. I believe our last count was at 18, so we should be seeing 2 more. And we're very excited to see our version 3
Somebody
satellites in
debugging problems
space.
with the cameras?
And these are fully, these are real satellites.
Right.
They're not just demonstration sats like we had last time. These are going to
No, you can
basically have a
understand why they
20-minute
clap.
lifespan,
Come
where
on, give
our
them a
Starlink
break,
engineering
right?
team
These are
will
engineers and
attempt
they're
to perform a
building,
number of
they've
tests
built
and
shit
really
and
speed
it's
run
working,
those tests
right?
during that
Mostly.
time.
Right. And in terms of satellite lifespans,
Give 'em a
20
break.
minutes is
I'd
it's
be
the
excited
shortest
and
you
cheering
could
too.
possibly get,
You know,
but
if I was
hopefully in
on
that
the
20-minute
if I was on the
timeframe,
Pez dispenser
we can really
team,
try and ink out
you
as
know,
many
like
tests
I'd
as we
be
can.
freaking cheering.
It looks like we might have some...
And Starship's working fine.
This might actually
So
be
far.
light from one of
We haven't
the
re-entered it.
Starlink satellites, as we mentioned before.
Tiles
Them,
deliberately
6 of them
missing,
actually
yet again.
Are equipped with flashlights to look
How much
back
tile
at
data
Starship
do they bloody
as
need?
We want to image the heat shield
Man,
and
it's
understand
just-
the heat shield
it's getting a bit
performance
silly.
through the
PC
ascent
load
phase,
letter.
as this information is very important for us to
Altitude is
know and
decreasing. Oh, is it?
understand as we
Yeah.
prepare
Right,
for
it's on the down
operations that
phase.
will enable ship to come back
Yep.
to Starbase for landing, for catch, I should say.
Right. And we are about 40 seconds away from that planned.
Yeah, 3.6
payload
billion. That
deployment
sounds about
sequence
right
being
for the
complete.
HLS.
Yep, looks like we've just got those last 2 to go. These ones might be coming out. Oops, they're starting to see motion.
That looks better. Lights, lights. Yes, floodlights. That one has floodlights. Yes.
Came out the door. One more.
Yes. There we go. Do we get a shot? I don't care about people cheering. Show me the shot. Show me the camera shot.
It looks like we got a crowd at our Hawthorne, California
Come on.
location. Some colleagues gathering outside of Mission Control there as well.
Show us the shot.
That marks, if
They're
I'm
not
not
gonna show
mistaken,
us
our
the
20th
camera shot.
So our payload deploy sequence is now complete. Starship will now
They didn't have
close
live
its
switching
payload
capability?
bay
Maybe they-
door and continue to coast around
Surely
Earth
they had the
to
feed of it.
Indian Ocean. Still a lot of major events to come today, including our Raptor relight
There's one
burn
thing
at
that
T plus
SpaceX do well, it's
38
streaming.
minutes, 58 seconds, followed by atmospheric
They have
re-entry,
10,000
where the heat
satellites up
shield
there
will
they
be
can
put to
use to help
test
stream.
and eventually our
They're-
splashdown. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go on
Alright.
to another quick coast.
Yeah, so
See, that
sit
one-
tight,
that's
enjoy the
externally
views,
lit. The flood-
and of course some more Space Jam.
Or is that-
And
no,
we will
that's
come
not- no,
back
that's
here
not coming from the
at
Starlink.
T+30
That looks,
37 minutes for our Raptor engine relight and
That
of
looks
course
sunlit.
Starship reentry.
There you go. Let's mute that sucker again. Starship re-entry coming up. Well, when? It's another 30 minutes or something, isn't it? Like, I think it's 40-minute trip from launch to, so probably another 10 minutes. 10, 12, 15 minutes, something like that. Surely they need to deploy fully. Yeah, I know. I think last time we got the shot as it was coming out, didn't we? Or does my memory suck? I'm sure we got a really good, just as it exited, I'm sure we got a really good shot of it coming out, a live feed. Didn't we? Or did they give us that footage later? They are going to land off the coast of Western Australia in the Indian Ocean. Just, I don't know how many hundreds of miles off the coast of Western Australia. Although it's big out there, so it could be like 1,000 miles off, but somewhere out off the coast of Western Australia. Lamp automation powered by Home Assistant. Those camera shots came later on the download. Okay, thank you, Mike. All right, so my memory is poor on that. It wasn't live, it was later. Okay, cool. Yep. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't actually record that footage and can download it later. They've got 20 minutes to upload it though, before those V3 satellites burn up. Well, if they're blowing all the money, Nadia Plays Games. If they're blowing all the money, then they have to still deliver on the contract, don't they? Was it a fixed price or was it plus cost? Was it a plus cost contract? They still have to deliver, right? If they're blowing all the money already, I guess it's, their decision where to spend the money, I guess. And if they want to blow it on something else, getting the Pez dispenser working, which has nothing to do with the human landing system, then, they have to deliver on the human landing system. They're contracted to do it. So, yeah, I'm just, we don't have a single photo, not a single photo of the human landing system. What does it look like inside? And they don't even plan on testing. They've already said they're not going to test the human landing system docking. Well, they're going to do docking, but it's just going to dock with the Starship. That's it. There's no ability. There's nothing inside for the astronauts to transfer into. That's not the case for the Blue Origin Blue Moon Mark II, which will have which is the human landing system, which is the Blue Moon's human landing system. And, well, granted, we haven't seen photos of that yet either, but I'm, just my spidey sense, I'm trusting Blue Moon more than I'm trusting Starship. So, but they've already said, yes, we will be testing the Blue Moon 2 docking in space, and the astronauts will be able to open the airlock, transfer in, have a play around with all the human landing system gear, and, and then exit back. So yeah, that is the plan. Whereas they've already said they're not doing that with Starship. They're not even planning to do that. So that means that there's no onus on SpaceX to build anything, to build even a habitable volume inside Starship. They don't have to, because they've already said that they're not going to test that in Artemis 3, which is bullshit. They should hold their feet to the fire. Yeah, everyone's been missing contract deadlines. Of course they do. Yeah, they also get paid on milestones completed. I saw the milestone list and it was pretty underwhelming. How much did I miss? Benjamin, you missed boosted. The booster boosted. It didn't deboost. It splashed down pretty hard. It splashed down all right. I think 7 engines out of 13 did not relight. 5 or 7 engines or something didn't relight. Again. Possibly the oxygen turbo pump is what they're saying. The oxygen turbo pumps, they didn't relight. So, yeah, let's hope they can rebuild the New Glenn rocket. That was such a shame. Oh my God, that explosion. That was a gut punch. That was unbelievable because they were looking so good. They were going to launch Blue Moon 1 and land on the moon this year. They were going to do it in like a couple of months' time, I think, was scheduled to go. When's engine relight? Engine relight is not until landing burn. It's not until landing. I don't think they're doing a Raptor. I don't think they're doing a engine test in space. I don't think they're doing a relight test on Starship. I think we won't know until because it's on a ballistic trajectory, ballistic MAV, and it's just going to come down and only just before the water is it going to relight. Or up above, it's got to do the flippity-doo-dah, doesn't it? Yes, this is suborbital, Benjamin. This is not orbital. They just successfully deployed 20 Starlinks, V3s, fully operational V3s, and they will last a grand total of 20 minutes before they burn up, because this is a suborbital flight. So, yep. Yeah, space is hard. Space is hard, but, if you want to land on the moon, you've got to be focused landing on the moon. SpaceX is the wrong contractor to land on the moon because they don't care about it. They don't care. You've got to have a company that cares. I mean, it's only recently that they started to, I think when Isaacman came in, I think they, SpaceX suddenly, oh yeah, we're focused on the moon. We're focused on the moon. It's like, bullshit. Don't believe a word of it. Because it's actually small fry for them in terms of the contracts that SpaceX get. It's like, it's chicken feed. A couple of $2 billion is actually chicken feed. So you almost can't blame them. You almost can't blame SpaceX for not taking the human landing system, Artemis thing seriously, because it's a pittance of their income. But you think that they would. Like, I don't get it. I've never understood it. You would think that Elon Musk, right, wants to be, wants to be famous and godlike, right? And you do that by landing back on the moon, something that he knows this Mars thing isn't possibly going to work in his lifetime, right? So why you wouldn't shoot for the moon? Land a Falcon, use a Falcon Heavy to land something on the moon and just wow the world, Land a little buggy and drive it and have Elon drive it around live on X or something like that. Do something like super cool like that. But no, they just want to piss it away with dreams of Mars. And I'm a huge advocate of going to Mars, but all this colony bullshit, it's just ridiculous. And he must know. He must know that he's not going to. In fact, I think he said it. I think he actually came out not that long ago and said, "Oh yeah, we may not see a human colony on the moon in my lifetime, but." Okay, great aspirational goals and everything, but it's just, what is land a Cybertruck on the moon? Yeah, just do something. Do something. The stick meme, the stick meme. Come on, do something. Do something with the moon. It's there. It's like 3 days away. Falcon Heavy can get to the moon. Falcon Heavy can get to the moon. Send a couple of bloody tourists around the moon. In a modified lunar-rated Dragon capsule. Why they never did a lunar-rated Dragon capsule is beyond me. Unbelievable. Why? Why? Wow. It's, and it's relatively easy compared to all the Mars bullshit. And of course, Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, the most reliable booster in the business, right? Dragon capsule, 100% reliable. 0 failures on the Dragon capsule. Just do a lunar-rated variant. You have to survive a bit more re-entry, well, a fair bit more re-entry speed from lunar, but, just beef it up a bit. If you're going to waste your money on dreams like that, then at least get something achievable in your near lifetime. Yeah, I don't get it. There's nothing, there's no...
In the next couple of seconds.
Oh, seconds.
By.
Oh, something's happened. Stand by. Sorry. Stand by. We're standing by. Dan was commentating. Sorry, we missed all that. What do they do? Where are we? What is that?
You see right there on your screen.
Wow.
Looks like an aurora. Or something.
And confirmation over the net. Relight shutdown.
Relight shutdown? Where's the engine display?
Team on this milestone. I mean, it's crazy to see how we can maneuver in space and just another.
Oh, they're deliberately maneuvering in space. Oh, okay, sorry.
We're going to be taking another
quick
break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes before re-entry, which is targeted for about T plus 47 minutes. So we'll
47. Okay, so we've got another 8 minutes. All right, there you go. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were doing some flippity-doo-dah thing in space. They were relighting and flipping something, but everyone cheered, so apparently it's successful. So, tick. So that's 2 ticks for Starship. Yep. Fun fact, the Roadster is due back in the vicinity of Earth in 2091. Yeah. See that, just cool shit like the Roadster launch. That's just great. Why can't they do stuff like that for the moon? Seriously, if they would have already, you'd already be able to buy a tourist flight around the moon in a lunar-rated Dragon capsule on a Falcon 9 Heavy. It might have to be disposable. I'm not sure if they can get to lunar thing with a landable Falcon 9 booster. Maybe if they go low weight enough. I don't know. Does anyone know that? Could a Falcon 9, fully fueled Falcon 9 Heavy get a human rated Dragon capsule around the moon and then land the boosters back? Is that possible? Someone asked Grok. Elon will just do Elon things. Yeah, but I don't understand why. Like, you know, it's such a relatively easy win to do stuff with the moon. The moon's 3 days away. We can see it. People can go outside and stand there and you can see the moon and you can imagine, oh yeah, look, there's a Cybertruck up there driving around on the surface. Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't SpaceX wonderful? Isn't Elon a god? Like, I don't get it. Don't get it. Yeah, it's such a relatively easy win. I don't know why they haven't done it. M. Lonster, yes, a fully fueled Falcon 9 can reach, I'm assuming heavy. In fact, spent Falcon 9 upper stages have occasionally ended up on lunar collision courses after deep space deployments. The moon where we can godlike enough compared to Mars, I guess. Yeah, but Mars isn't going to work. It's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen. Bloody hell. Because the problem is, they built Starship for this stupid dream of sending a colony to Mars. It's never going to happen. You know? In fact, a Falcon 9 Heavy could get a payload to Mars, right? So, because there isn't actually much difference in getting the same mass to the moon or to Mars. There's actually not much delta V difference in it, I believe. So it's like, if you've got a booster that can get you to the moon, it can probably also get the same size payload to Mars, or very close to it. Yeah, I hope we get the Starlink footage. Hang on, is there any dialogue? Please tell me if there's dialogue. No, nope. No, SpaceX is not a good candidate for the moon. I disagree. They are. They've got the Falcon 9 Heavy. They've got the Dragon capsule. They could, with not a relatively small amount of effort, they could have developed a human-rated lunar Dragon capsule. A lunar-rated Dragon capsule. And they could get a few people around the moon. Like, oh man. Did I eat lots of lettuce? What does that mean? What's happening here? No? Something's going. Something's going. Come on. What's happening? There's no commentary. Well, I've already commented on that, I think, Nadia. Yeah, being just a heavy payload dropper. Starship might eventually work for heavy payload to the moon, but I can't see it landing and not falling over. They're going to have a landing pad. They're going to have a landing pad there first, I think. Surprise re-entry plasma. 100k re-entry. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, down 98k's. Yep. Yep. We have a Plasma McPlasma face starting up. Cool bananas. Yeah. Yeah, Earth and Mars. Yeah, I mean, they're going to nail. Look, they're going to nail. Everyone saying Starship is going to eventually fail. I don't think so. I think they're going to eventually nail Starship. They're going to eventually make it reusable. How reusable it is, how many times, don't know. It's up in the air. But I think they're going to nail it. But it's not going to work for the human landing system by 2030. I would bet money on it. I would bet a lot of money that human landing system is not going to help. That Starship is not going to help humans get back to the moon by 2030. I think Blue Moon is going to win. I think if we are successful at Artemis, I think it's going to be Blue Origin doing it. I don't see Starship doing it for humans. Don't see it. Why did I cheap out on 4K? Sorry. I didn't even think about... I'm not sure if I can actually stream in 4K using StreamYard. I'm not sure. Yeah, sorry.
Experience brief blackouts in communication.
Brief blackouts?
Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out, which is exactly why we're testing this landing procedure that we're doing today.
Why would you do this? You are contracted by NASA to land on the moon. And in your live feed, you're talking about freaking landing on Mars. Why? Why? You should not mention it at all.
Your screen moving around, that's actually a camera affixed to the flap.
If I was Jared Isaacman, I'd say, no, sorry, you're done. We're pulling all your damn funding because you guys are not focused on the moon.
More rapid reusability.
If you accepted the contract and you focus on the bloody moon, and that's it. Otherwise, we're pulling everything. Forget about it.
Its way back to Earth.
That's what I'd bloody do.
Now, when we hear something called entry max heating, as well as entry max Q, that means that the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic
it'd be more than deploying Starlink, I think.
It experiences.
I think they'll eventually get it right, and it may eventually carry, if they can actually get it working, and they can get the 10 refueling flights working, or 12, or whatever it bloody is, I don't know yet,
right, so we'll
just to get one trip to the moon. Then if they can eventually land cargo on it, on the moon, then yes, it will be game-changing, but it's a long way off.
Transonic will be referring to the period of flight where velocity
Mars Hype is 100% for using the stonks. Anyone who buys the stock thinking Mars is going to be a thing, you're an idiot.
And above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8.
You don't understand how these government contracts work. Yeah, I probably
commercial
don't.
Jets have a range of
Burning metal
speeds,
spotted.
Most
really?
fly at roughly Mach 0.74, 0.85.
Where?
Just for reference, that's
Not
between
seeing burning metal.
480 miles per hour to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers an hour.
Ah, boy.
And subsonic, another call out that you'll hear later on in the stream. Subsonic will
74
refer to
kilometers.
speeds that are much less than the speed of sound.
They have to nail this landing.
Flight, the ship's
they
velocity
have to.
will be slowing down.
We want no burning metal for Starship to be a success. For me to give it a tick, we want no burning metal bullshit, although they have deliberately left tiles off it yet again. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. It's just, it's nuts. Build two at twice the price, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I want no burning metal. I want no burning metal, and I want a pinpoint landing. And, yep. Although they do send, Starship's been reasonably good at nailing the landing, even after it's burned up. You know, it's quite remarkable actually. So, but they need this one to work. It's just, it's getting silly, right? They just need it to work. And by work, I mean, you know, it's got nothing burns up, nothing explodes, pinpoint landing. No Ernie Bernie metal flying off. You know, it needs to... Ooh. Oh yeah, that shot's... That's the entire grid fin, okay. Here's the engine bay. The engines are not lit. This is purely the atmospheric friction, the actual plasma being generated. Yeah, they really need to nail this one. Yeah, it's slowing down pretty quick. That's burning off a lot of energy. Yeah, Starlink's amazing. Getting the signal received it's just, no one else beats it. I don't know why NASA didn't use Starlink for the Artemis mission. The Artemis streaming footage was shit. Honeycomb? What honeycomb? Do you mean the tiles? Under the tiles? Come on, you can do it. I'm pretty confident. I'm, let's say, 90% confident that Starship's going to do this landing. I think it's going to do it. But it needs to. It needs to. If this one fails, if Starship comes a gutser, slams in hard. I mean, they've already failed on the booster. China is ahead in many ways. China, if you're talking about just getting boots on the moon, I pissed off a lot of people on X with a post I made. China, I think China's technically ahead in getting humans back to the moon. They're technically ahead. And there's lots of reasons for that. I did an X post listing them. Yeah, Artemis had the worst camera setup to switch in. It was awful. I couldn't believe it. It was so crap. It depends what you mean by catch up. If you just mean boots on the moon, my God, what a propaganda win, right? What a propaganda win for China. And then America will be all red-faced and, it wasn't a race. But literally, Jared Isaacman came out a couple of weeks ago. I posted the video and said, yes, we're in a race to land humans back on the moon. We're in a race with China, and we're going to win it. And it's like, well... Yeah, Artemis had some old analog video as well. Analog cameras. It was funny. What do you mean? They've never been before. They haven't sent humans? Sure. But there's literally a book. It's called the Apollo, how we landed on the moon or something. There's literally a step-by-step guide. NASA wrote it for landing on the moon. You just follow that, and it looks like that's what China's doing. So to literally have that, they have, 4 probes on the moon? All successful. China have 100% success rate, I believe, with landing on the moon. 100%. They've landed the first probe on the far side. They've deployed satellites around the far side, so they actually got telemetry from the probe on the far side. They've done a sample return mission, and they've had practically 0 lunar related failures. So don't tell me that they're behind, because they're not. They're not. And they've actually shown test footage of their lunar lander. Their lunar lander, which looks very Apollo-like, spidery limb thing. They've done simulated testing of that actually landing, as in physical simulated testing. There's video of it. You can go watch it. So unless that's an empty shell inside, then they're ahead. They're ahead. Purely from just looking at the evidence, they're ahead of getting humans back to the moon, because we know how to do it. We did it in 1969, and NASA literally wrote a book on it, right? and if you follow that, you can get, yeah, Buzz Aldrin. What is he? 96 now or something? He's super old now. There's my signed Buzz Aldrin poster, personally signed by the Buzz. There it is. But if you're talking about long term on the moon, then you would have to say technically NASA / America's ahead, right? Because they are developing Starship. If Starship works, right, it puts massive amounts of cargo on the moon. 12 flights or whatever, just for one trip. But in theory, right, and long term, and the new goals of NASA and all the other missions that they've got going on, yeah, NASA's ahead in terms of long term. But if you're just talking about a pure race to get boots back on the moon, even if they just go there for an hour, take a couple of selfies and go back, then China's in the lead for that. But no, long term and lunar base and everything capable, I think America's still in the lead by a significant margin. 50 meters per second. Buzz's life was shortened by the Apollo missions. He's done pretty well. He's done well above average. They get in a permanent presence on the moon is entirely a different ball game. If you're talking about permanent presence, yes, America's ahead. China's not leading in that. But yep. And apparently, like, I am not allowed to hold dual opinions on this. I'm not allowed to hold the opinion that China's in the lead for just getting boots back on the ground, and at the same time that America's in the lead for a long-term lunar presence. Apparently, you're not allowed to hold both decisions and both opinions at the same time, according to the internet. Unbelievable. Go and check Apollo. If you're complaining about it took 13 tests, go and check Apollo. How many flights of the various Saturn rockets? I think there was like 18 test flights. Oh, music. Yeah, sorry. Copyright music. Thank you. Copyright music. Yep. I was too busy. Bloody, yep. Come on. Nice shot. Beautiful. Looks great. I don't see any melty stuff. It's looking pretty good. Like I said, what did I say? Did I say 90% confident that this was going to be, Starship was going to land and have no issues? Because these are different engines to the Raptor V3s. You have to remember that, right? These are different engines. So, that are on the super heavy booster that failed. Failed in quote marks. It boosted. It lived up to its name. It boosted. It just couldn't deboost. Oh, is that Led Zeppelin, is it? That ice cream I ate is political, yeah. Oh. No. It's looking good. Nothing's burning. Yep. Zeppelin. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting copyright struck on that. Yep. Yeah, of course. None of this was going to happen unless there's a race. It wasn't going to happen. It had to be a race, and that's why it's a race. And that's why Jarek Eisenman came out and said, yes, it's a race. And the previous NASA administrator said it's a race. Trump has said it's a race. Everyone said it's a race. So they can't back out of it, right? They're going to have egg on their face if China do actually land boots. Great shot. Fantastic. So, yeah, we didn't get we should have got the Pez dispenser images by now. We should have got the Starlink video, right? I'm sure they did it by this point in the previous stream. That's going to be a bummer if we don't get the footage from that. I'd be very surprised, because that's tech that's worked before. So yeah, it's better. Yeah, it's a shame that it needed a race, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it, right? Of course it's the only way. Like, you know. Yep. Yes, they already won the moon race, but it was 50 years ago. Nobody's going to care. They've literally said it's a new race. So therefore, it resets the clock, right? It resets the start line, right? It doesn't matter. Like, sure, I will accept that if America went, okay, we're not in a race. If Trump and Isaacman and everyone came out and said, oh no, this is a race, we've already done it. We're not focused on that at all. We don't care about this 2030, boots on the ground by 2030. We don't care. China, go ahead and do it. We've already done it 50 years ago. You guys are 50 years behind us. Right? If they said that, if that was their spiel, then you could say, okay, fine. But they haven't. Everyone in the administration has come out and said this is a new race to the moon, to put boots on the moon by 2030. So, don't blame me. That's their choice. They have chosen that as their they have chosen that as their talking point, so I'm going to hold them to it, right? Yeah, it's purely a way to justify the expenditure. Yeah, because they wouldn't have got the expenditure otherwise. Yeah, exactly. Although they could have, because it's all state in the US. It's all state-based politics, right? It's all state funding shit. That's what kept bloody the space launch system alive, right? It was all state-based funding. You can't call bullshit on it, Mike's radio repair, because it... Do we have to break the sound barrier again? Fine, you can say that, but I'm not the one coming out and saying it's a race. I am not the one. It's NASA. It's the US government. It's the president coming out and saying it's a race. And they're going to have egg on their face if they lose. End of story. I'm not the one dictating the terms. I totally agree. America won the race 50 years ago. They won the race. But all I care about, what I want to see, is back in my lifetime, I want to see humans get back to the moon. And I'd love to see it while I'm still young, please. And I'd love to see it by 2030. So I'm excited about this new lunar race. So, yep. 700 kilometers an hour.
Temperature
Here we
and
go.
Speeds
We're
and
back.
pressure are all coming down, and we can see that in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen as
Yeah,
that
exactly.
speed continues
Suddenly
to
stop
decelerate.
building supersonic aircraft.
We're coming
for
up to
100
the
years.
ship
For
landing
50
burn.
years, yeah.
Yep. One of pretty much everybody's favorite part of
the flappy's moving. The
Starship
flappy's doing
test
flappy
flight
things.
days, and that's going to be coming up here.
All the
in
tiles look
just
good.
about a
What is
minute
that?
or so.
Oh, there's a little peely.
Yeah, just about
little
a minute
peel
away.
coming
We're
off
gonna
there.
Try and light all 3 Raptor sea level engines for this burn. We'll light 3, do the flip. We'll eventually go down to 2 as we get close down to the water.
Are these
down
Raptor
low to a
V3s
final
the sea
1
level
engine
ones, or are they
before
slight? I thought they were
hopefully
different.
execute a nice soft splashdown. We'll see if
Flappy
we've got
bird.
our buoys and drones in range with the recovery team. They're
Pretty
gonna be standing
confident.
by
This
to
looks
try
like
and
it's
get
survived really well. I mean,
additional
all
views
the
of
hard
Starship's
stuff's
heat
done,
shield,
right?
which
There's no more.
from kind of our
There's no more
initial
real
looks,
plasma. There's a bit
it did pretty well
coming off
on the
here, but
flight
it's
uphill, but
going.
we'll
It's only
continue to
going
dig through all the
400. No, it's
visual
only going
data,
400 kilometers an
as
hour.
we get it. We didn't do any real stress tests or anything on this flight. We did.
So it's
do,
all over.
you heard
It survived
our
nicely.
Landing Large flight controller call out.
Beautiful.
We're doing the swoosh maneuver.
I'm confident
This
it's
is kind
going
of
to
the
do
final
this.
maneuver that we
I
plan
think we're going to have a
Starships
big green tick
returning
for Starship.
to, Starbase do that will essentially hook them out over the Gulf before coming in. And
It's amazing
over
that it's so
Tower 2.
stable.
But
Aren't they just
about
like
10 seconds away,
regular GoPros or
look
something?
For 3 Raptors, the 3 in the middle to light up, do a flip. Let's see if we can get this thing in the water.
Oh, that's just venting. That's just normal venting. That is normal. It's been doing that the whole flight. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, they've relit. 3 engines have relit. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. Oh, there's a shot. Look,
into
look.
the Indian Ocean.
Oh, we got a perfect shot of the tiles. Perfect drone shot.
And we're in the water.
And we're in the water. Is it going to go explodey?
And it's a soft splashdown in the water.
No, little. There it goes. Slow burn. Slow burn. That's the best shot we've ever had. That's the best shot we've ever had.
That is the first.
It is.
That
It didn't
the
explode.
softest splashdown we have
It
ever
is.
had with the Starship there in the Indian Ocean.
And it's perfect. That is USA champ. And that is centimeter level accuracy here, right?
to even get to soft splashdown, much less have
Or a couple 5 centimeters or something. It's super accurate. All right. Next time, that's great. Look at that. That is great. Oh, look at that. Look at that drone shot. And this will be in 4K as well. Sorry, I'm not streaming in 4K. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, that's a huge win. That makes up for, that possibly makes up for that booster. All right. That's
really
pretty
pumped
huge.
about this.
That looks like there was no
check in with
damage on those
Tyler.
tiles.
Tyler, how is Hawthorne feeling about
That
Lucky
looks.
Flight 13?
That's very impressive. Yep. Okay,
Hey,
that's a
Kate, we
tick.
are
Huge
so
green tick
excited
for
about another
Starship.
successful
Her
Starship
again,
test
business
flight
chick, right?
And those gorgeous Starlink
Why is the
feeds that we had.
countdown here
And we
not
can also
showing
confirm
number
that
of
we
people?
managed to make contact with all 20 of those V3 sats.
Oh, they did?
So it's a massive day for us. So
They contacted those.
congratulations to
Okay.
everyone at the team
That's
at
a win.
Starbase, for Starlink,
All right.
everyone here
A
and
lot of
around the
people
company
will forget about the
contributed to
booster
Starship
failure.
program as we make progress again towards
Because
a
they've had so many
multi-planetary
wins on the
future.
booster.
So thank you,
So
everyone,
many
for tuning
wins.
in. That's
I have
goodbye
no
from
doubt
Hawthorne, and back to
they'll
you guys
fix
at
that.
Starbase.
So, and it
Thanks
doesn't
so much,
impact
Tyler.
Starship, which
Now,
is
for
Starship is the
anyone
big
who
thing that they
perhaps
have to get
missed
working, right?
the
So the booster's
action,
not
I suggest
that big a
you
deal.
rewind the clock. Wow.
Oh,
Look
wow,
at
look at that
view
shot.
of the Starship heat shield
Oh,
tiles.
no
You really
way.
see how the atmospheric re-entry
Go, the drone
how
operator.
it disperses the heat around the edge of the vehicle. I don't
Oh
think we've
my
seen
God,
quite
that is
close
such
before.
valuable
Never,
footage.
and honestly, however
I was just
short-lived
talking
that
up the
ship
drone
standing
operator, and all
bobbing
of a
in the
sudden,
water is, that is insane
Wow.
there for our team. It's
Wow.
unbelievable that we were able to keep that ship afloat. Now, we promised
That's
maximum
amazing.
excitement, and
Oh,
Starship
look,
V3
it's back.
delivered.
Look at that. It
Congratulations
looks like
to
a whale
all
or
our
something,
teammates
you know?
at SpaceX and to everyone who supported the Starship program. And thank you to all
That
of our
is,
future customers
wow, that is
for your
amazing.
support.
That's amazing footage. That's
yeah,
a win. That's
as
a
you can
huge
tell, the
win.
crowd really enjoyed that Nemo cam for a moment. We'd also like to thank the fine people of
Oh,
Finland
look.
County,
Oh, they still
as
get
well
footage
as the
from the
Coast Guard,
fin.
the Federal
No
Aviation
way.
Administration,
Look, it's
and
bobbing
the
in and
Government
out.
of
Oh,
Mexico.
come on.
The
Come
amazing
on.
views do not
Come on.
end, so be sure to follow
Come on.
SpaceX on X for updates and more of these exciting shots that we didn't get to feature on today's broadcast.
Wow.
And to
I wonder
get
if they
an
planned
inside
that.
real-time look
Sort of
into
like to
the-
shut
at
it
the
down
teams
so it doesn't
bringing this
explode
incredible
on
rocket to life. Check out the latest episode of our
Splashdown.
documentary series.
That's amazing.
Starship.
And could they
of
recover
course,
that?
Thanks to all of you for tuning in.
If it just floats there, can they recover
we're
it?
gonna head back up to Dan for
Wow, that's
some
a win.
additional thoughts.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm losing my mind
No
right now.
tiles.
We
I
are
don't
still
think there's a
getting
single
views
tile.
from on board the ship with it
And
in the
apparently
water.
they
Like,
had.
we had tried in the past to do these splashdowns as softly as possible. We
Right.
experimented with rolls.
Oh, there was one
This is
tile.
the
I saw
first
one
time we
tile.
put an intact Starship in
I saw.
the
I think
water.
I saw one tile.
This
It's over
is a
here.
dream
Come on, move up,
scenario
pan up a bit,
for the
pan
team
up.
that's trying to get this
It's
heat
just
shield
above
data.
there.
Normally, you're working
I
with
think, or was
a
it just white?
slightly charred Starship in the water, and now we have one intact. So the recovery team is moving in with their drones, and that we are
No
still getting
way.
views from Starship. It is sending these via Starlink from the other
That's
side of the world
incredible.
while it is floating in the water.
That is
after
incredible.
flying through space. Like, this
Wow.
is just completely surreal right now.
This is actually more fun
this
than
is
seeing it
just
land on land. Actually,
amount
now that
of
we've got
data
these
that we're gonna
footage,
get
this
back,
footage,
this
it's
is gonna
actually
be
just
so
more
critical
exciting, more
for
fun.
Refining
Yeah,
the heat
yeah, they're
shield,
gonna recover
everything
it.
else, and
Free Starship,
the
local
really good
pickup
news is
only.
all of these views that we're seeing, you're looking
Still
at
have
a pretty
people.
intact looking
Can you
heat
quote me
shield,
for
which,
delivery, please?
As a
You know,
reminder,
like,
we were
oh,
flying at a significantly higher
Wow.
dynamic pressure, so putting way more stress on this vehicle on the way uphill.
So apparently
And
they
it's
did
sitting
have
there
some
in the
experimental
water,
tiles
and, I mean, look
on
at
it still, or some missing
So-
tiles. That's what I heard. Maybe they
I'm
didn't.
a little bit over the moon on this. I know a lot of our
I'm not.
team
Oh,
is
they're
just
zooming in. Oh,
fascinated
like,
in the control room behind
are they
me.
some of
I
the
mean,
control
everybody
tiles,
is
or-
psyched. Everyone's gathered around their computers
Oh,
looking at
wow,
these
go
close-ups
the
that
drone
we're getting of
operator.
these heat shield tiles. 18,000 of them. I mean, you can probably count the ones that are missing right now on one hand. Like, this is just
right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I saw
absolutely
one banged up
incredible.
there, missing.
And the fact that, like,
That's
the
amazing.
cameras on board the ship are still sending back
The
video
cameras are still
is
sending.
just a little bit surreal. So,
Oh, this is very. This is.
wow.
This is incredible.
Lucky number 13.
Yep. Yeah. Very.
Hell of a flight for Starship. Get it all the way
Booster
there in the water.
was a almost well
really
technically a
great
fail,
day
but
for-
I'll
for
give it a
version
sideways
3,
because
so-
it boosted fine and then it didn't relight again. So same problem as last time.
All right.
Same problem. It didn't relight.
As Kate and Nate said, we're going to keep releasing more of this. Stay tuned. We've got
Wow.
some really cool stuff from
Wow.
some of the onboards that we caught. So keep
That's
following
great. They're
us
going to
on
be able
X,
to
at
recover that.
SpaceX. Whole bunch more cool imagery from
That
launch,
is
from the flight
fantastic. You
that's
saw
gonna
it
be
on
coming out
fire
soon.
after it landed, but that obviously went out.
Yeah, let's
Look
just
at
close
that.
on that. I mean, look at Starship in the Indian Ocean. That's fantastic.
No way.
We'll see you all back here for
They're going to, unless something
flight
goes
test
boom,
of Starship
before they can
3.
recover it.
With that, we'll say goodbye.
That's amazing. Yeah, they're going to learn a lot from this one. That's it. That's it. They're going to learn a lot from that. Let's go. Yeah, look, it's on fire. But let's watch that again, shall we? Look at that. Oh my God. Oh, the drone shot as it landed. And then I fully expected it to explode again, but I never. So Dan said that they've been trying to get as soft a splashdown as possible. But look, if something goes boomski, so there's obviously some fuel that's leaked out. Well, it hasn't gone boomski. It's fuel that's leaked out and then it's caught on fire. And then it's just automatically put out. Like, yeah, it doesn't last that long. Look, it's diminishing, but now it's under there, so it's almost the full length, right? So there's obviously some. Oh, and then another sort of. Yeah. And I'm sure everyone thought it was about to explode, but then it just decided, nope, I'm sure it goes out in like tens of seconds, right? That's amazing. That's incredible. Woo! And they still got the shots from there. That's just, yeah. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Starship is just floating there. They'll be able to pick that up. That's a great shot. So well done. Well done, SpaceX. They did it. No worries, Dan. Thanks for joining us. Poor fish, yeah. Still some fire showing near the engines at water level, was there? Okay. Right. Well, I hope they can recover that. I guess they've always hoped to. Dan said that they've always been trying for a soft landing, so I guess the hope is that they can recover it. But yeah, that's tough when the thing like literally falls over in the ocean. The ocean's hard, you know. Trust me, I have some experience in this, slamming stuff into the ocean. And you know, when stuff hits the water like that, it's pretty violent. So it's it's not a fire. That's a Las Vegas water feature show. Yeah. No, they're going to recover it. They aren't going to sink it. Nope. They're going to try and recover that bad boy. I guess they have a recovery ship. They can pull it out with a crane. They put some straps. They put some hockey straps on it and lift it out. No worries. Onto the back of a barge. They have recovered the sunken booster before, have they? Because it's I think this is a shallow part of the ocean, isn't it? I think. Haven't they? Can somebody fact check that? Have they actually recovered any Starship boosters yet? It landed right over MH370. They found it. Yeah. Just light the engines, drive it to the nearest coast. That'd be so good. Couple of ratchet straps, no worries. And it's relatively light now because it's out of fuel, right? Or there's very little fuel left in it. Salt water hurt the engines for sure. I'm sure, but oh my God, they're going to learn so much. I mean, see, the thing is, this would have landed fine. They could have caught this, or it doesn't. Yeah, they catch it, right? They catch it. They could have caught this, but but to do that, they either A, have to build a landing platform off the coast of Australia somewhere, right? Off the west coast of Australia, they have to build a dedicated landing platform in the middle of the outback somewhere, or they've got to go to full orbit and then be able to prove that they can do a deorbit burn and land precisely where they need to. So surely they have to go for that next time. There's probably now zero excuse for not going to full orbit next time. Because they demonstrated that flippy thing in space, and I think that was the requirement from the FAA that they had to do that before they would give them license to go, well, approval to go into orbit, and then land back at Starbase. So yeah. SpaceX has never recovered a full intact Starship upper stage, the ship, or super heavy booster from the open sea. Thank you, M. Lonster. Right. Yeah, they can recover this one. I don't think it's going to sink. I think there's not enough mass there, and there's too much buoyancy in the tanks. So I think she's just going to float there. And they said they were sending a recovery ship. Was on its way, so apparently they... Imagine being the recovery ship on all the previous flights, and not again, it exploded, there's nothing to recover. Let's go home, guys. And now, whoa, we've got something to do. We finally get to do our job. We finally get to do our recovery. Yeah, that's great. Okay. There was an interview with the recovery ship on Flight 12, was there? Oh, okay, right. Whatever happened to the car in orbit? It's still going. It's still going. Someone spotted it the other day and thought it was a new asteroid or whatever, and no, turned out to be the Tesla. What? Everyday astronauts said they will terminate it, not safe to recover. Seriously? They're going to terminate it? Oh, come on. But he would know. He's way up on these things, right? Tim Dodd would know. Oh, come on. No, they're not going to recover it. But Dan said they're sending out the recovery team, right? I'm sure he said that. Damn. I want to see that recovered. I'd love to see video of them, bring it back and then inspect it. And oh my God, that's worth the risk, surely. Pay some danger pay. Danger pay for the recovery team. 1 million shares in SpaceX if you can recover this thing. Yep. Not 1 million, 1,000 shares in SpaceX if you can recover this. Boy. Yeah, floating it somewhere to examine the tiles would be worth the effort. Yeah. Like, even if you could just get in there quickly, attach a tow hook to it, and then, is there a tow point? I'm sure you could find one. And then tow it back. Like, drag it back. Drag it back. Although they are, I'm not sure how far they are off the coast of Western Australia. Yeah, so it's not like, you got to remember, this is off the coast of Western Australia, right? It's probably hundreds of miles at minimum, right? Off the coast of Western Australia. Miles for you Yanks. Yep, a floating Mechazilla, future concept for recovery. Once you've achieved orbital success and you can control where it lands, you might as well land back at Starbase. Can't see why not. Sending out a recovery/demolition team. They're by-trained. They got some Navy SEALs on board who was just going to we got to blow it up. But but the flight termination. But how do they blow it up? Because there's no fuel left. I don't think they can just blow it up now, right? Or do they send the recovery team out there, stay a mile away, and then blow it up? Well, so the recovery team is probably, going to do some sort of inspection, I would think. Facebook doesn't allow rewinding. Yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, they needed that win. They needed that win on Starship. That is a 100% win. I don't think even the harshest critics have to agree that that is a complete 100% success for Starship. Booster, half success because it boosted. It just didn't re-land. But I think that's, in the scheme of things now, with this win with Starship, I think that's a small fry thing. I'm sure they will. Oh, geez, that's better. Am I talking too loud? So yeah, they needed that win on Starship, and with that win, that's going to overshadow the loss on the booster. But I think they're gonna I'm sure they will nail the Raptor V3. I have no doubt. So yeah, so they would be very happy with that. Might even see a little boost in the share price because of the Starship, but they're not actually trading right now. The market's closed, but you can get pre-market vibes. Thunderfoot, no stream. I was going to ask about Phil. Was Phil streaming this? He hasn't streamed it for a while. But yeah, that's a success for Starship. It doesn't increase my odds any about Starship Human HLS, Starship Human Landing System for Artemis. Because their plan's all wrong. Their plan is literally just to do a docking test on Artemis 3 and not transfer astronauts over. So there's no incentive for SpaceX to build and the internals of the HLS. They just don't need to. All they've got to put is a little mechanical docking ring on it. Docking stuff in space is easy. Yeah. Future investments secured. Yeah, well, they called it a booster, not a lander. Yeah, I know. But that was the thing. That V2 booster, man, that was the duck's guts. I would have ridden on that. I would have felt safe riding on that booster. It was so reliable. And granted, the V3 has been a reliable booster. It just hasn't landed properly yet. So they're going to want to do another test on that before they try the tower catch again, because they don't want to risk damaging the tower with that high-speed impact that we saw today. They don't want to risk that. Yeah. Although I believe they have like an abort override. If the engines don't relight properly, then they can switch like all of them on, or attempt to relight all of them, and then a good lot of them are going to come on, and then it can boost it away, like from landing and actually destroying the pad. I think like they've got like an alternate plan. They've got like a plan B back up for landing the booster if some of the engines don't relight, I believe. So no open source. No, I didn't go to open source. I wasn't invited to open source, so would have liked to have been invited, but I wasn't invited, and you've got to be invited to go to open source. So was not invited. Somebody put in a good word for me, but I wasn't invited. So yeah, I probably would have, I hate airline travel these days. Used to love it. Now I hate it. I just dread it. But I would have gone to the US for open source, I think, because there's just so many great creators there that I would have loved to have met. But yeah, but wasn't invited. Oh, you're not talking about open source. I thought you just spelled it wrong. You're talking about open source. They call it... Do they open source it? Right, you were answering that. I was answering the wrong question. Sorry. Well, I wouldn't pay for a business class flight. If they invited me, I don't think they pay for your trip. I don't think. Maybe for some of the top creators they would, but I don't think they pay for the lower creators to go. But I would pay for my own ticket to go there. So, and I said that. I said I'd pay for my own ticket, but still didn't get an invite. So, no, I would not enjoy a business class flight. No, still wouldn't. No, I just hate it. Just hate it. How was the dumpster today? Haven't looked. I'll have to go look. Oh, the dumpster. Bloody hell. Something's changed. Something's changed in the dumpster. We just approved a change of the company that cleans the dumpster, that, hauls out the garbage. I think we just approved that. Well, we did just approve it. I assume they've made the change because all of a sudden, I opened the door the other day. I could not get into the dumpster room. They had doubled. There was an extra 6 bins in the dumpster room. I've got photos of it. And I think I might have did I post one on X? Maybe not. Got photos of it, and you literally can't get. They've got so many dumpsters in the dumpster room, you literally can't get in. It's like one of those puzzles. What do you call those puzzles where those tile puzzles where there's only 1 or 2 tiles actually missing, and you've got to like arrange all the different, shift, get this tile over to this corner or something. Then you've got to move everything to try and... It's like that. I physically could not get into the dumpster room. They added another 6 bins. It was already, and it's just, it's ridiculous. I'll have to post a photo on X. It's nuts. An extra 6 bins. I don't know how or why those bins got there or what they're being used for. They're useless. You can't physically reach them. Like you would have to climb over the other bins to use the bin at the back. I don't understand at all what's going on with the bins. So I've asked our Strata, what the hell? Why do we need 6 extra bins? I know they overflowed a bit, so maybe 2 extra would be nice, but not 6. You can't physically move in there, which means people can't physically dump stuff in there anymore. Maybe that's the plan. Fill it up with so many dumpsters that you can't physically... It's just nuts. Yeah, I'm a million sub creator now. Yeah, I checked of who's going to open source, and somebody with like 12,000 subs is a featured creator is going. I don't know. Maybe they know someone. But no, they don't care about the YouTubers. The only one who goes is Medi, really. But Medi's in a class, he's in a he's in a famous class above us other YouTubers because he's mainstream famous. Put a secret camera. No, I can't put a camera in the... There is a camera in the dumpster room. Maybe I can tap into the feed. Yeah, bloody hell. I don't know what's going on with the dumpsters. It's just nuts. I don't think Elon knows about my channel. No. Easy to drop it outside my door. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the dumpster room. Dump biological waste in the dumpster room. Yeah. Well, we do have there is a specific bin. I don't know if it's designed for, it's designed for sharps, and because there's a couple of there's quite a few companies who would do like actual biological waste in this building and in the surrounding complex. So yeah, see, I've never known anything to smell or something. Well, the garbage room smells, so it's kind of hard. Hey Jim, you're a bit late, Jim. If you just turned up. So yeah, anyway, there you go. That is a success. That's a huge success for Starship. That's actually a big... They will be able to milk that... They'll be able to milk that... not cash... Well, yeah, it is now a cash cow, isn't it? They would be able to milk that. The media... They'll be able to milk the media on that. They'll be able to milk the marketing on that. That is a huge success on the Starship, which is what really matters. The booster is... Well, the booster's always been the booster. It did its boostery thing, but half fail on that. But I'm sure they'll fix it. So it's good. So I expect the next one has to go to orbit. If they don't, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I think because they did that flippy thing, that flippy test in space, and that worked, and I think that's what the FAA required as a final test before they gave them approval to go into full orbit. So it's got to be, I think they've got to go for it next time. And hopefully it doesn't come a gutser. Hopefully they can physically land the booster, the Starship back. Yep. They may not go for the booster tower catch again because they still haven't nailed the engine relights on that. So I would not blame them. So my guess is no tower catch for the booster next time. They'll want one more test on that before they try and catch it again, and they will try and land Starship, not on the water. I think they'll go to orbit and they'll try and land it. That's my hope anyway. It may not happen. I don't know. Go and watch Tim Dodd. He'll have more. He'll be more in the know on that. Where will the crew section be? Well, in there somewhere. We've never seen a mock-up of it. Haven't even seen a mock-up drawing, let alone a photo of it. Does it exist? Dunno. That's why I'm totally skeptical. That's why it's all bullshit. The Starship human landing system. It's just, nope. Yeah, they got Starship got the time. SpaceX got the time wrong. Yes. Yep, they completely got the time wrong. Russ and Bot, but I knew they had it wrong, so I turned up early. Yeah. More satellites, Pez, next time. Oh yeah, yeah. Once you decide to go to orbit, trust me, SpaceX are gonna want to desperately go to orbit because they want. Yeah, they did say they had successful deployment of the Starlinks. They all 20 worked apparently. So that's going to be another huge marketing milestone for them, right? That's going to be a huge media milestone. Is that basically everything worked on this except relighting the booster. Everything else worked perfectly. Starship was absolutely perfect for once. There was no melty plasma. As Dan said, I think you can count the number of missing tiles to, on one hand. It's really remarkable how it survived. That's very impressive. So I think they've nailed the re-entry for Starship. So, and the flippy engine relight in space thing worked. So, yep. So SpaceX are gonna want to launch a full complement of V3s next time, but you have to go to orbit to do that. So I think they're going to be so desperate to go to orbit now. I think they're going to be so keen. They don't care if they lose another booster doing it. They don't care. They want they want the win. They need the win. Once Starlink V3 goes to orbit, whoa, the share price goes back up, and that's what they want, right? They want the wins. So, yep, that is my prediction for next time. They'll go for orbit. Because really, there's nothing in this that actually prevents them going to orbit now. Everything's 100% success from orbital safety point of view. 100% success. So, yep, there you go. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. It's already 10:30. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for the almost completely successful Starship Flight 13 test. Booster came a gutser a bit, but I think everyone's going to quickly forget that. That's going to be a footnote. So, yep. Don't know why their counter down here failed. Their counter down here was 0. It was 0 during the stream too. Don't know what's going on there. Anyway, thanks for joining me, everyone. Catch you next time. Oh, and the new employee is starting Monday. So, yeah, I've physically got some chairs here that I've got to assemble. I've got some new chairs. I'm finally giving up my dumpster chair. It's a bit worn. Sorry. It's a bit, there you go. It's completely worn. But this is my dumpster chair I've had for, I don't know, a long time. So I ordered 2 new chairs. And I've cleared some desk space next to me. So, yes, new employee Dylan is starting on Monday. Full-time until early December is when his full-time contract ends. That was his choice. So, yep. But if it goes well, he'll extend beyond that part-time. So, yep. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time.